Are you about to start?
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Car Talk Podcast number 24. Today we are here with some other automotive YouTubers as well. Jacob, also known as the Jizz. You want to go into your channel
Jeez, dude.
and the vehicle you have?
Let me guess, he just got a jizz.
Jacob, go into your channel and your Cherry Bomb
Okay,
Jeep.
so my channel is The Chiz. It's not The Jizz, J.A. Sorry to say. But I have a 2006 Jeep Wrangler named Leroy.
Hey, don't squirt on the wall, buddy.
I did not copy Clayus McFarcan on that. But I do a bunch of videos on my Jeep Wrangler, and I just do personal vlogs, just have fun. That's pretty much all I do.
So you have fun jizzing?
That's gonna be a joke all night.
Oh, dude, you have no idea. It was
The whole
a pretty
time.
big joke last time.
Oh, God. Okay.
Sounds like a rap name. The jizz.
Okay, Nick, you want to go into your channel and the vehicles you got?
Yeah, my name's Nick. I have the YouTube channel NickGT350R. I currently have a 2013 Subaru BRZ that is supercharged and has unequal length headers on it, blah, blah, blah. It's like a lot of bolt-ons. It's a lot to go into, but I have videos of installs on pretty much all the parts on it. And I just picked up a daily driver. It is a 1995 Ford F-150, and I'm going to start making videos of it, but the first couple ones that I made of it didn't do so well, so we'll see how it goes.
Alrighty. Hey, Jacob, you want to do the intro for Martin?
Oh, no. Nope. I got mine. No, thank you.
Martini!
So,
Martin, you want to go into your...
So my name is Martin. I run Import Domestic. Since I do have a Pontiac GTO that's technically an import, but it is a domestic powertrain, as everybody knows. It's a 2006, not stock whatsoever. My girlfriend has a 2014 Corvette Stingray that you see in the background. And, of course, I have the Pontiac GTO.
There you go. Yeah, that's cool.
Hey, rev it a little bit. Come on.
So it's kind of cold. Hold on.
Piss those neighbors off.
Well, as long as my girl's not here, she won't be like, you're pissing off the neighbors. So they're out shopping.
There you go.
Yeah.
Damn.
She sounds
Damn.
Damn. Let them bald eagles scream.
Oh, yeah.
He might have just jizzed there.
That's right, Jacob. Not true. Anytime you see a sports car, you jizz.
I couldn't miss the opportunity to say it.
That was a good one. That's a good one.
You must have jizzed out underwear.
Hey, I think his underwear must be white now.
Hey,
Oh my god.
I give you a suggestion. Don't ever go to a club that has one of those black lights. Not a good idea.
Oh my god.
He's just getting roasted. That's what the topic of this podcast is, just roasting him.
Dude, I don't care at all. I think it's funny.
It's gonna be like one of those. What is it? Comedy Central.
Yeah, one of the roasts.
Yeah.
You just tell jokes about the whole time.
Yeah, it's called the Jizz Roast.
Well, there's a title for the video. It's not going to be hard to find one.
Hey,
Jacob jizzed on podcast.
Hey, that means you're not gonna be lying, there, Jonathan. We got jizz on the podcast. The Jacob jizz.
Dude, he's freaking
All right,
losing
we got
it now.
one guy coming. He's here now.
Oh, wait. How do I get the comments? Hold on here.
Oh, you know.
You have to go to the actual video.
Oh, crap. All right,
Yeah.
let me try to find this.
I need my iPad so I can.
Yeah, that might help you.
Oh, crap.
Okay,
Where'd the video go?
Trying to see if
I
what's
found
going
it.
on with Jesse here.
Hey, Jacob, do you have a girlfriend?
No.
No?
Rosie Palmer and her 5 sisters.
Never heard that one before.
That's a good way to put it.
I never heard.
Or was it her Jizzy sisters?
Oh god.
Oh my god. Hey, let's
Hey,
get
you
into
asked. Hey,
Let's
hey,
That's
you
the
asked for a
thing.
car topic.
If Jesse can hear us, he probably doesn't get the joke. I don't know if something's going on with his camera and his microphone or what, but it says he is muted.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, so I got a quick little topic for us while we wait to see what's going on with Jesse. What is the fastest you guys have been in a car riding passenger?
Okay, could you
And
not
what
hear me
car was
before?
it? Yeah, I can hear
Oh
you
my
now. I
gosh,
can't see you.
I don't know why, but my thing was on. Oh, camera not going? Still? Really?
Hey, was it full of jizz?
Yeah, it's just a picture of a gear.
Oh, well, there you go. It's not inaccurate.
Is your martini?
That's my head.
Yeah, at least I'm not full of jizz.
Uh-huh.
And Jesse's just like, I don't know if I get the joke.
No.
He's like,
He'll start
I
to
can't
understand
respond until I actually get to it. Gosh darn it.
Crap, where did I go?
It's telling me my webcam's not working. I don't know why. But the microphone's working.
That's weird. Yeah, the microphone's working. This is what happens when you do podcasts. You have occasional difficulties.
Well,
At least you're not.
Oh, wait. Is it working now?
Oh, it's working.
there
I
we
see
go.
a person. There it is.
It was giving me error messages even though they weren't relevant.
Oh. Well, that's life for you.
Because obviously it's working
All right.
now, but even though it was telling me it wouldn't work. So anyways, hello.
All right, you want to go into your channel and the vehicles you do videos on, Jesse?
Oh, sure. Gearheads is the name of the channel, and we do mostly Miata stuff. I'll say that because I have a Miata, and that's my project car. And then my buddy has a Miata also, and we've done some videos on that. But then we feature other things that come in too. We have a classic Mustang. We have a really old Chevy pickup that is in there right now, and then probably leaving soon because it's going to need a lot of work that we don't have time for. We have an old Volkswagen sitting in there. What else? I don't know. Just random stuff that comes through, but most of the time it's working on our own projects. So, yeah.
Alrighty.
That's cool.
All right, so back to the quick topic I wanted to bring up. What is the fastest car you guys have rode in? What's the fastest you've been riding in a car, like as passenger?
Riding or driving? Those are two different things, my friend.
Riding. I said riding in a car.
Oh, riding. I don't know. Fastest I've ever been riding is probably like 110, but that's, I don't know.
I think the fastest
That's not the fastest I've driven either.
I think the fastest I rode in was like, I think it was like 130, and it was in a Viper.
Oh, there you go.
nice.
That's cool.
That's not bad. That's pretty good. I've never been in an
First
audio.
supercar that I ever actually got to drive or ride in. First supercar I ever got to ride in was a Viper. It was one of the '90s ones. So it was like kind of fast, you know, compared to that. At that time, it was very fast. Compared to the supercars out now, it's not super fast, but
yeah, it's like slow shit.
it was still that was the first one that I'd ever been in, which made it really cool to me. And I always liked them even then, even before.
Yeah.
Can't go
For
wrong
me,
with them now still.
yeah, for me, the fastest I've rode in a car as
The Cobra.
Nope.
Oh,
Not anymore, Mark.
Really?
Nope.
Not anymore. The
Tell 'em about it.
Cobra was 130. So anybody want to take a guess what it is now?
What Cobra?
I already know what it is. Jay and I were talking about it.
Yes, Jacob.
Don't spoil it.
Because I don't know what Cobra.
I did a video on it. It's 2003 Terminator Cobra that I got to ride in. We went
Oh,
130.
that's cool. Nice, man.
Yeah, but now it's
sorry. It has nothing to do with YouTube, just life in general. I'm very busy with work and other stuff, and like I don't have time to watch everybody's videos. So when I do have time, then I'll sit down and like watch some for a while. But like I don't. It's like once every couple of weeks I sit down and watch and try and catch up.
I kind of agree with that,
well,
too.
that's definitely one of mine you should check out because that one was a really good one.
Yeah, it
Sure,
was pretty good.
I'll
The
check
rolling
it out.
shots were, the rolling shots were my favorite.
Unfortunately, the rolling shots on the car I did a video on yesterday were kind of. I got to redo them. But the car I did a video on yesterday was a 2017 Camaro ZL1 with the A10 automatic transmission in it.
Cool.
That is now the fastest car I've been in speed-wise.
Yeah. What'd you get up to? You're not gonna tell us the number.
Okay, almost one. It was either like 148 or 150. We might have hit 150. If not, it was really close to it.
Cool.
So, anybody else not go yet?
What car was that again?
Cobra said.
2017.
Oh, the ZL1. That's
Oh,
Yeah,
shoot,
the
that's
ZL1.
the last one. The new one with the 10-speed. That's what you said. I forgot. My bad.
Yeah.
That's
That
cool.
thing. It's so amazing how well that car handles.
For how heavy
Yeah.
they are, yeah.
Because
I mean,
we
look,
went on
I'll be
back road.
honest, because I live in the mountains, like, and I've driven those, and it's like the handling is not bad. It's actually impressive for how heavy the car is, because it's a very heavy car.
Mhm.
But it's still not. I don't know. It's still not that great. It's good, but it's a heavy car still. And there's nothing you can do about that, and there's nothing you can really do to hide that. And I've driven a modified GTR also, and even that, it was like, wow, this is incredibly fast and handles incredibly well for how heavy it is. But you can still kind of feel the fact that it weighs a lot, and it's being very forgiving on how you're treating it because of that.
Right.
Versus driving something that's actually really light and feeling it. So like the new Camaro's that way, like, yeah, it's pretty impressive actually. It handles really well for how big it is, but it's not really, I don't know, it doesn't feel light enough.
Yeah. Let's say this: it was the best handling car I've been in so far. Like we were going around these real sharp turns in the back roads, and Jesus Christ, it was insane how well it was handling. It's like even in like a pull, the ass end didn't go anywhere. It was planted the whole time. Unlike the Cobra, where in a couple times in that video, you can see if you look in the back window real carefully, you
It,
can
like,
see the tail
squats.
dancing a little
Yeah,
bit.
just like squats
Yeah.
on a launch.
Yeah, it was insane. That video will be coming out eventually.
I would love to take you for a ride in my Miata to show you. Because like you say like back roads there, I'm just saying like you're went around a couple tight corners, dude. Where
Okay, it was more than a couple tight corners.
Real
Boy.
tight. Oh, it'd be fun.
I was surprised how well the turning radius was on the ZL1 too. It wasn't that bad.
No, it's not bad.
I was surprised my fat ass fit in the Recaros. That's what I was surprised. And I was like, that's the thing. Like, I'm so surprised when I sit in like these, like Recaros or anything that's not like a regular stock seat that has the bolstering. It's like, one, I'm surprised I fit. Two, I'm surprised I'm comfortable in them. Because I mean, to get to the spot where we started the video, we drove like 30 minutes to get to that spot.
Mm-hmm.
So like, that was a 30-minute drive, and
well, the truth is, like, some bolstering is actually kind of comfortable. It's nice because you're not moving around as much. It doesn't even whether you're skinny or whether you're fat, it doesn't matter. My point is, like, either way, like, having bolstering is nice because it's something when you're riding, especially when someone's driving quicker or going around corners quicker. It's something that when your body moves over, like, you actually have something to help hold you versus you know, the old days where there was nothing to hold you except for maybe the handle up here somewhere, and that was all you had.
Yeah. The one complaint I have about the new Camaros is like the space between the door and the top of the door, like where the window is. They've
always had that kind of like chop top thing ever since they came back in 2010.
Yeah,
where it's like really.
That's new car safety standards. That's like the high belt line, where you can't just actually rest your arm like here on the door anymore when you're driving. Like,
they're like up here in those Camaros. You just stick your arm almost out of it. Yeah.
Oh, I know. That's not even just Camaros. That's most new cars. Your arm's up here when you want to like you ride with the window down. It's like, okay, well that doesn't feel good. That's not nice.
I know one thing though. It was a pain in the ass because I was like trying to get. I got rollers of that car, which didn't turn out that great, and then I got some of my friends. Chevy Cruze that I'm supposed to be doing a video on, and no, it's not stock. we're supposed to do a video on that eventually. I thought, okay, why not get both rollers in the same day since, Turner was going to come up and help me get the rollers for the ZL1. So why not do that? And God, trying to get the camera plus my fat head out of the freaking window of the Camaro was like, it was ridiculous. I'm like, this is not going to work. It was like hilarious. Like,
remember what RP Production said about the Camaro? It's the submarine.
What did he say? Remind me.
He said it was like being he said it's like being in a submarine.
Or like an army bunker.
Yeah, army
he says
bunker,
that he couldn't. His head was being like he couldn't put his head out the window. He said he couldn't do the Dukes of Hazzard even if he wanted to.
I know, right?
It's not like the old cars.
Oh yeah, Steven, you want to introduce yourself since you got here, and what cars you have, or whatever else you want to say.
Hello. Just
We can hear you.
Gear nut, I guess.
Gear
You need
nut,
some
that's
light,
a new
bro.
one.
The
Oh God, you're very laggy.
Ooh, very, very laggy.
Wow. Like, it's because he's on mobile.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
I'm
another
on my
reason I don't
mobile
want to use
too.
my phone. That's why I wanted to use my computer.
Yeah.
I'm on my iPhone.
I'm on my iPhone too.
Good. Then you live somewhere you have a fast enough connection.
Thank God. Thank
I
you,
mean,
Jesus.
Steven's up in, I think, the mountains. So I mean,
Oh
There
God.
you go.
Yeah,
I don't
thank
know,
you,
man.
Jesus.
I have T-Mobile.
Yeah, thank you, Jesus, for Verizon and living in central North Carolina.
Verizon, fuck
Is
Verizon. They
this
suck.
sound better?
Sounded better, yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Okay.
I think Steven's kind of froze a little bit. Oh wait, no, he's moving now.
We have
I
movement.
fixed my internet.
He has a broken gear.
Okay. Okay, you want to explain like the vehicles you have and stuff like that, since you're not a YouTuber or anything?
I mean, yeah, I'm not. I'm really not. I have a
Nothing wrong with that.
97 I have a 97 GMC K20.
Did he freeze again?
Oh,
Yeah, he froze.
He's in
Yeah.
there
No,
twice now.
Am I back?
Look, now there's two of them.
His facial expression is beautiful though. Look at him.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay, let's try that again, shall we?
Third
Gears
time's
full of
charm.
jizz.
round
That's
two.
a charm. No, round three.
Round
Yeah,
three.
third time's
okay.
charm. It's a 97 GMC K2500 with a 454 in it.
Ooh.
Nice.
big motor.
Ooh.
A 99 Malibu with a crappy 3.1 V6.
Ugh.
Yeah, this crap.
And a 69 Chevy C10 with a 250 inline six.
Alrighty. Was there anything else we wanted to finish out with the last conversation we were having, or should we move on to another topic?
Well, how fast has everybody driven?
Driven 120
Yes.
in a 2016 Charger Scat Pack so far.
Yeah, he is right. We never finished that question, huh?
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
okay.
we kind of drifted off away from it.
So
I want to know
driving-
though, who's driven the fastest. I want to hear all you guys. What's the fastest?
Okay, the fastest I've driven was 125 in a 2016 Scat Pack Challenger.
Fuck
Oh,
you.
that's a nice
Fizz.
car. That's a fun car.
102 in the GMC.
Oh,
Wow.
and it didn't feel like it was going to fall apart.
No, but the four-wheel drive engaged.
Oh God.
Wow. Wow.
Oh my God.
If four-wheel drive engaged, you are not going that fast.
Oh God.
No, it was right there against the rev limiter. Fast as
What?
it could go.
What? I forgot. I didn't hear in the beginning. What car was it again?
It's a 97 GMC K2500 with a 454 in it.
Sorry. I thought it went another prison further. What? The four-wheel drive engaged? What? You have to, in that kind of car, you have to hit it. You have to tell it to go to four. Four
Don't you have to,
high
like, put
or four low.
Don't you have to like put it in neutral and then engage it and then put it back in drive?
No,
it's
it
in
depends.
1988. They started a new program where you could shift it into four-wheel drive in any speed.
Oh shit.
But you
Yeah,
aren't
'cause
supposed to drive on the highway in four-wheel drive over 55 miles an hour.
Yeah, because in my Jeep, you have to be at a standstill in neutral with the clutch in to put it in four-wheel drive.
Oh wow.
That's not even well, and that's his Jeep maybe, but even a lot of Jeeps you don't have to do that, and you haven't for a long time. But they still expect you as an owner to be smart enough to not throw it in four high when you're on the freeway or on
Yeah.
asphalt
Absolutely.
at too high of a speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't even expecting to go there. Like, I was just, well, okay, I was racing a Mustang.
Oh God, here we go.
It had a 4.6 in it. It had a 4.6 in it. I had fun losing to it. So I'm telling you, man, this thing was like right at the end of the speedometer. And it sounded like it was going to shut off. And when I got down to 70, just four-wheel drive, you could tell it was engaged.
There you go.
Wow.
I'm sure it felt heavy after that was engaged.
Oof. And the fact that there's
Okay.
no gear oil in the transfer case sounded like I was grinding gears trying to put it back into it.
That's why you need a new
Well, then,
transfer
if that's
case,
the
right?
case for real, you're lucky it didn't just explode into 1,000 pieces, and then you
Exactly.
couldn't drive the car anymore.
Yeah. Okay, Martin, how fast have you went driving?
So here's my answer. Can you see that? Okay.
Oh,
So
there
I've
you go.
gone
We
100.
can hear you.
Okay. So I've gone 168 in my GTO. It wouldn't let me go any faster.
Nice.
The governor kicked in and didn't let me go any faster. And then I topped it in the Corvette when I went 180.
Oh my God.
Nice.
Jesus.
So
I think Martin's the
I did
winner.
180.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Martin's
Unless
definitely the
Jesse's
winner.
gone faster.
Nah,
Yeah.
no, that's faster than me because I've driven some expensive, nice cars, but the fastest I've driven an expensive, nice car is about the same as I've driven my own cars. And the fastest, like if you want to just say what the fastest one I've ever driven was a modified GTR, and that probably would have been pretty dang fast, but I had to actually have fun driving it on a local canyon windy road. And there's a couple straight spots in the middle of it. And one of those I got to like 125 or something. And that was cool. But I'd gone faster than that in my last Miata. I got up to like, I maxed out where the top of fifth gear is like 135, 140-ish, somewhere around there, depending on the size of your tires.
Hey,
then
the
the
good thing
fastest
is,
I've
I
gone
know I'm not
that-
last place.
Oh, good. The fastest I got over, other than that driving, was in one of those like days. I don't know if you've ever been to them or heard of them. There's around, all around the country, there's NASCAR courses, and a lot of them have like a day where you can go and drive a NASCAR or whatever. And it was fun, but they don't let you go as fast as the real NASCARs do. And at that I got up to like 170 or so, or like high 160s and 170, somewhere around there.
Nice.
And that was fun, but I don't know. It wasn't as fun as driving like my own fun fast car on a windy road. Or actually also, by the way, going and racing it or driving on a track. Like that's way more fun than going another 30, 40 miles an hour faster and then being on a NASCAR oval.
I just saw something in the comments that somebody did 140 in a BRZ.
Yeah, it's me.
Oh, that was you?
Yeah, it's me.
Okay. I didn't know that those things could go that fast.
When they're boosted,
Okay, well,
they can.
Okay.
Is yours boosted?
Yeah.
Oh, what do you have in it?
Jackson Racing C38 kit.
Oh, okay,
It's
cool.
8 psi.
Yeah,
Oh,
whatever. PSI differs depending on turbo
Depending on
or
the size of the
supercharger.
blower and everything. It's a supercharger.
Yeah, no, I know what that is. That kit is. It's a nice kit.
Yeah, they make a Jackson kit for Miatas, so I mean you're probably a little familiar with it.
Yeah, I mean I know of them and about them. They've been around a long time, but it's still not anywhere near close to being as beneficial as like a supercharger is.
So what's the top speed of a BRC that doesn't have any boost?
Did I say supercharger,
I
by
have
the way?
no
Or
idea.
Turbo.
Oh, it's a supercharger, yeah. But yeah, I don't really know what top speed would be. I mean, I've seen videos. There's guys online that have done on the Autobahn hit 151 with a stock one, but I mean that was probably like downhill.
With a tailwind.
Yeah, exactly.
A big tailwind. Like
That's cool, man. I like BRZs a lot. They're really pretty looking cars.
Oh yeah.
They're really nice. It's kind of like
The only thing I didn't
RX-8.
like is that the Toyota 86 and the Scion FRS look so damn similar to it.
Well, yeah, it's the same car. It's all.
They're the same thing.
Exactly.
That's like kind of the whole point.
Yeah, I mean, like it's part of it was like part of the car is Subaru and part of it's Toyota. So I mean, if they work together to build it, they're probably going to look the same. It's kind of like the whole Crown Vic, Lincoln Town Car, and Mercury Grand Marquis. Like they're all the same thing, just little differences.
I just don't
So
see
it's-
the point
it's
of
like
three
Caitlyn
different
Jenner.
companies making basically the same.
That's the thing though, JA. They're not. They.
It's like part of the car is Subaru. Like
Yeah.
like it's not like there's 3 companies building the same car. It's like the motor is out of a Subaru, the direct injection system's out of a Toyota. I'm pretty sure the transmission and differential are out of Toyota. A lot of the interior is Toyota and Subaru mixed. A lot of the exterior design is going to be Toyota, I think. Well, they based it off a lot of the 2000
Toyota
GT.
designed most of the car. Subaru pretty much just designed the engine, and I think they had some say into what went into the suspension. And when it came to trim levels, then they did have something to do with the interior and trying to design the trim level of the BRZ versus the Scion FRS. But the funny thing is, before you mentioned like the 3 different manufacturers making it, and it wasn't. It was Subaru and Toyota went in together, and Scion was, because they're not even
Yeah, they don't even exist anymore.
Scion left. Exactly, and it was Scion, and then in the rest of the world where Scion didn't exist before at all anyway, that was the Toyota GT86, and that's just what we're getting in the US now. It's like, yeah, it's the same thing. It's still the Toyota GT86. It's just not called the Scion anymore. And then, Subaru had a hand in making it too. Obviously, they had a huge hand. They designed the engine and then added some characteristics on the rest of the car. But
is that like comparing, Bruce Jenner turning into Caitlyn Jenner by the surgeon?
No, because the GT86 and the BRZ are closer to the same thing than those 2 were.
But it's still the same person. They're just
You're
a little different.
Well, I mean,
correct.
the thing is, Martin, is I think the GT86 and the BRZ have more parts that are the same than.
That was a good way of putting it.
Hey, yeah, no kidding.
All right, I gotta go. I'll be back in a second.
Alrighty. And he just froze for a second. We just started a car.
I don't know.
Was that the Jeep?
That was me.
It was the Jizz.
Do you just gist yourself?
Yeah, the Jeep with the glass packs on it.
Yeah.
I can't hear it.
Too quiet, I know.
Start again, fool.
Oh, fuck.
There you go.
It sounds freaking good.
Rev it a couple times.
There you go. That's better.
That sounds really damn good for a Jeep.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, my parents are probably going to get, all pissed off at me. I probably just scared the piss out of my neighbors.
And I bet your parents would love me with my GTO there.
Well, I mean, my neighbor...
By loving me, that would be like, get the fuck away from me. Get away from here.
Well, this ain't crazy. My neighbor across the street from me has a Chevy Silverado that's straight pipe. That's obnoxious. Oh,
that's my favorite.
It sounds like a damn helicopter. It sounds like a damn helicopter.
You just missed Jacob revving his Jeep.
Oh.
Oh. Of course it is.
Well, it's got glass packs, so it actually sounds good.
It's got a catless
Sounds
mid-pipe and a glass pack on it.
Which Jeep is it?
It's a 2006 Wrangler X TJ model.
Which motor's in it?
It's a 4.0.
I was just about to ask that.
Okay, so it still has the 4-liter. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Didn't
Nice.
this come with the inline 6?
Yeah, that's what this is. Inline
Okay.
6.
Well, they also sold with other engines too, but
I think the
inline 6 is just like it's ridiculous because that engine was designed, and the funny part is it's not even Jeep. It was AMC, which nobody nowadays has heard of at all because AMC was around so long ago.
Right.
But that was an AMC engine that they designed, and they used the thing for 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
That's how long. That's how good of a design it was.
And then, of course, in 2007, they went to the 3.8 V6, which was a piece of crap motor.
Yeah, and everybody had problems with those.
And then,
Wait, what year was it?
well, my Jeep, it's a 2006.
Now, what year did they go to that?
2007. And that's also when
Okay.
when they went to the 4 doors and that sort of stuff.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna,
I
I was
asked
gonna
because my friend Stanley has a 2006. That's why I
Yeah.
was wondering. That I'm supposed to do a video on eventually when we get around to it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Martin,
it's an
don't
automatic.
confuse that Jeep with
Whatever.
mine.
I
I
would
was
rather
gonna say
review
that-
yours, to be honest with you, Jacob. Yours is a manual. It'd
Yeah.
probably be more fun
Mine's a 6
and sound
manual,
better.
which of course, yeah, mine is like the first of, I think it's like the second year for the 6-speed manual. I think. I could, but that's what I've been told.
Yeah, man. I'll be back again. Damn it.
I was gonna say,
Alrighty.
like besides like the Toyota 86 and all those, the BRZ and all that, another car that's made by the same maker that from a different company was the DeLorean, and of course the Lotus Esprit back in the day.
Yep.
Yeah.
The DeLorean
And
that in the movie Back to the Future, they had to put a sticker on the speedometer so they could actually reach 88 miles an hour.
Yeah, they made a special speedometer just for it. hmm
Yeah, because didn't it only go to like 80?
I think so.
Or was it
I
not
think it was
even
like
that?
80 or 85.
Yeah, I think later
Yeah,
on.
something. I
like
think it
the
was
late-
85, and they had to add. I think it was a 90 sticker on there, so that they could actually use it in the movie, since they said that it has to go up to 88 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
What? They had 90 in the sticker? What are you saying?
For
You're talking about on
the
the
DeLorean.
speedometer in the movie?
Yeah, in the
Talking about
movie
the
they had to
DeLorean.
add a sticker onto the speedometer because the speedometer didn't go up to 88 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they made so basically the template that goes inside, they custom made one, and
Yeah.
they replaced it with one that said 90 basically.
Which I find kind of funny that they had to modify the gauge cluster so they could do the movie. Oh, you guys want to know something cool about the Camaro that I did a video on?
Tell us.
He was telling me that his Camaro was, I think, one of the first automatics delivered in the U.S.
So you're not the only one, Nick.
Yeah, because
Nick's wasn't the first delivered. He's just the first YouTuber to have one.
Right.
Yeah.
So his wasn't the
In
first
fact,
delivered.
In fact,
My
before
friend Pete's was the first delivered.
in fact, before he made up his mind, Mike Davenport.
The first delivered? You said it was like one of the first delivered.
Well, he said it was the
Well,
first.
no, I forget which one he said. I think he said it was the first delivered in the United States of the automatic, like the first one to be delivered to its owner. I'd have to re-go over the footage to double check, but I'm not gonna do that now.
Because
I'd have to remember where he said it, and like literally the ride along was like 20-some minutes total. I don't feel like searching through 20-some minutes of footage just to find that right now.
From what I can
that long because there's stuff that's gonna be cut out and all that, but.
Well, anyway, from what I can remember, I think Nick was gonna order a green Camaro, but because
he was thinking about getting the green one, but then he decided not to because he'd have to wait longer.
Exactly. Do you remember the name of that color? Because the color of his current Camaro is called Victory Red, if I'm not mistaken.
Krypton Green.
That's
Krypton Green.
There you go. That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
It's a good name.
Yeah. Speaking of GM, did you guys hear what GM apparently announced that they're doing?
Was it the whole ditching like the conventional engine thing? I didn't really read it, but I saw it.
Well, they made a big announcement about supposedly having 18 EV, whatever, electronic vehicles in the next, what, was it by 2020 or 2025? I don't remember, but it was in the next...
I don't remember. It was 2020 something. I forget the exact year.
2020. They had it on the news.
How fast is this thing going to be?
I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. That's weird.
Yeah, it's like they're planning on ditching the combustion engine altogether, and I'm just like, no.
There's too big of a following for the combustion engine for them to drop it all together.
Well, I mean, there's not going to be enough range.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are concerned about is the range.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Which I get both sides of, honestly. Like, some people say, oh, I want a longer range, and then they literally drive 30 miles a day. So why do you need it? But I am somebody that actually has sometimes taken my car farther than that. And if I want to, I want to be able to. And that makes a huge difference. And the fact is that, most people don't take advantage of it. Most people don't just go drive, 1,000 miles. But it's nice to know that you have that capability if you need to. And
Yeah,
at least
and be able to
until the
start
time
forgetting.
in the future where there are more of those supercharger stations available than there are actual gas stations where you can just stop and then still get another few hundred miles, and then you know there's going to be a gas station there. And that's the problem with EVs is you don't know if there's going to be a gas station that place you're going to.
Yeah, that's one thing I was going to bring up.
Until that gets bigger or whatever, then it's just not going to happen.
Well, let me put it this way, like you just said about the stations to charge up. Do you think there's a station by your house there, Jonathan? Anywhere?
Hell no. Steven, what about you? Because I know you're in the middle of
until they
nowhere
solve
too.
that little problem, you know.
I am literally on the side of a mountain. I can tell you there's no charging station.
Yeah.
There's no charging station in Jefferson County, Berkeley County, or what's the other one? Frederick County, Maryland.
What
do you have
state is
written
this?
on the ceiling?
West Virginia.
I'm asking. What? Oh, West Virginia. Okay, there you go. Yeah, no. Like I'm in California, so you say county, like every county in California is so big that it may as well be almost its own state. It's so far away. Like I'm in San Diego County. I'm not in San Diego. I'm up in the mountains away. But like even out here, like there was only 2, I think, E85 stations in all of San Diego County. And now there's a 3rd one that just happened to show up in my smaller town that I live in.
Is that towards Dana Point?
Dana Point? No.
Yeah, no. How far is that from where you're at?
Dana Point's up in like LA area, I believe.
Well, no.
I could be wrong though. If you're listening to this later, Google it. Don't listen to me.
From what I can remember, Dana Point is right smack in the middle of between, like you said, California. Of course, it's California.
Like San Diego and LA.
Yeah, San Diego and LA. Yes, it's right in the middle.
Yeah. If it's right, I'm pretty sure it's a part. I'm pretty sure it's part of LA County though.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
That's amazing.
Okay,
because there's barely any E85 over there.
Yeah, there's just not. It's
that's weird.
Because every gas station over here has an E85 pump.
Yeah. No, it's weird. And
well, there's a lot of
like I said,
farmland
I'm in San Diego. I'm in San Diego, and there was only 2 of them in Olive County, and now I live in a smaller town, like way out of San Diego, and the AM/PM locally just finally put E85 in, so now I've got to consider if I want to actually try and use it or not, but we'll figure that out later.
Yeah, I just got 2 stations for it.
It just wasn't available before, so I never even thought about it.
Yeah. Like I said, like we just really got 2 stations within 20 miles of my house, and I'm highly considering it for my car now because we have 2 stations now 20 miles within my house. So
they say you're supposed to use them on newer cars, but I've been told the E85 takes down your gas mileage.
It takes it down a lot, but it gives you more power.
Nah, it depends if your car's tuned for it.
Well, yeah, you have to be
more power if your car's not tuned for it.
We shouldn't run it in a car that's not tuned for it. It's like, but
true, but that's not true when you look at cars like a lot of Fords and Chevys, or even American cars and foreign cars that have the flex fuel.
Well, yeah, they have flex fuels from the factory.
Yeah, so and that doesn't really give you more power either way in that case. But actually, your gas miles will get worse, but the E85 is cheaper.
Yeah. I'm just saying it for like a tuning aspect. If you use it in a car that's tuned for it, then you'll get more power out of it.
Yeah, it's basically Australian race.
He said, oh, you get less gas mileage, and yes, you do get less gas mileage off the E85 because if you measure the same amount, like let's just say I had like a little vial here in my hand, and you have the same amount of gasoline and you have the same amount of E85. The amount of energy that can be burned off of that is less in the ethanol than is in the gasoline. However, so gasoline has the potential to make more power than E85 does. But if you have your fuel tank and you have E85 and you want to make more power than you would with a gasoline motor, the bonus is if you have a boosted car, you can make more power off of the extra boost, or even if you don't, and also this applies with a boosted car, you can advance your engine timing further. And the reason for this is because boost and engine timing both are harmfully affected by the heat inside of the combustion chamber itself and everything else. And the simple truth of E85 is it's almost like running methanol injection because it makes less power per whatever size, you have to inject more of it, but the counter effect of injecting more of it also means it's adding more cooling to the whole system altogether, which, like I said, that extra cooling allows you to run E85 with advanced engine timing, or you can run more turbo boost if you have a turbo motor, which is really nice. And that's the whole benefit or whatever of E85. But it doesn't per ounce or whatever, it doesn't make more power than gasoline does.
You know what I
That's a pretty
saw
good
one day?
description.
Sorry, Jonathan.
That was awesome.
But I
It's all
saw a
good.
report on, I think it was 2020 or 60 Minutes, but they were talking about how most vehicles, or more modern vehicles, since I think 2003 and beyond, where we're at now, most of them already have the E85 flex fuel system in the computer. You just have to turn it on.
You know, you don't even have to turn it on. Most cars, if it supports it, which a lot of more modern cars do, it detects it in the fuel. It has a sensor in the fuel line,
Right.
and then it knows what the mix is or whatever, because it detects it as it's going through. You can have pure 85, pure gasoline, or whatever mixture of both. You could have 85, you could have 10%, you could whatever, it doesn't matter. And it'll detect the percentage of E85 and then adjust the tune for it.
Why do you suppose Nick and Mike from Street Speed and Guitar Armageddon, on measuring how much E85 they would put?
Oh, they didn't have like true flex fuel kits that would adjust its timing and everything like that. They just had basically a tune for it. So they had to have a certain mixture in it, and where they couldn't go higher than a certain amount.
That just sounds like such a hack job to me. I don't understand why you would do it that way.
I don't know. It wasn't like a true flex fuel kit.
What year-ish or whatever were their cars? Because
they're 2016 for the Corvette, and I don't know what was it.
And
2013.
There wasn't an option into the factory ECU to adjust for that?
Well, no, it wasn't a factory thing. I mean, they got like an E85 tune for their cars, but like it wasn't like a full flex fuel kit where to be able to adjust everything by itself. So they would have to fill up on a certain amount of 93 octane and then mix the E85 with it. Yeah,
Sorry, I was just posting on Instagram about. That's why I'm looking down. I was posting on Instagram.
No, you're good, buddy.
Podcast, I completely forgot. I completely forgot to post. I was like, whoops.
All right. Well, I hope you all have a good evening. I have to get out of here and go have dinner.
Alrighty.
But
nice of you to come on there, Jesse. It's been a while.
For a little while. Yeah, it has been a little while. I'm busy, but you happened to message me when I was free, so Yep.
Alrighty, we'll see you later.
Have a good evening to all of you. I wish you all the best.
You too. Nice to meet you.
Yep.
Nice to meet you.
Take care, bro.
You too. Alrighty, so Matt Rosenthal brought up in the comments, he says, what's more similar, a BRZ in an 86 or a Lincoln Town Car in a Crown Vic?
I'd probably say the 86 and the BRZ, mostly because I know the Lincolns had air suspension, I believe.
Yep.
And the Crown Vic was on a coil spring. So just right there alone, the suspension setups are that much different that it would make the cars that much different. But other than that, I mean, they had the same motor. The interiors were a little bit different, but the suspension setup, there was a little bit different.
Much different.
Yeah.
No, they're much different.
Yeah.
It's like one's a freaking taxi cab, and the other one's plush as hell.
Yeah, like a
leather
luxury.
everywhere. Yeah.
If you want a better something, what's the word I'm looking for? If you want a better car to match it to, it'd be probably the Mercury Grand Marquis, because they had the same suspension and all.
Well, didn't the Mercury Grand Marquis have that special edition black car that had the more high power engine?
That was the Mercury Marauder.
The Marauder?
That was the Marauder. It had a 4-valve in it, I think. A 4-valve V8 with 310 horsepower or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was still a 281, but it had like dual overhead cams and all. It was an amazing motor.
Ooh, that's sexy.
Yeah, they were really nice, the Marauders.
Yeah.
They didn't make a lot of them, though, and they only made them in 3 colors.
I'm going to send you this picture there, Jonathan.
Okay.
Somebody cut out the headlight like the Hellcat. It must be a turbo inlet for this GTO.
Martin, it's hidden because this person's account is private, you ding-dong.
Oh, how am I supposed to know that, you ding-dong?
Take a screenshot of it and send it to him.
That's what I'm going to do.
See? says this account is private. He does
I'm
this
gonna
to me
show
all
you
the time. He
private.
sends me posts on Instagram, and they're all private.
So then follow
Well, how
that
do-
guy's page, wing that.
Yeah, but then
There
you
you
gotta wait
go.
for the response. You could follow it and not get a response for like a couple of days.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, usually when I
And then it
find
would be
out,
kind of pointless.
I take a screenshot and then I send it to him.
A string shot? What?
A screenshot.
Okay, let's go to a different topic real quick. What's everyone's thoughts on this? Is just speculation, like people have like heard or saying that this could possibly happen. But if it does happen, what's your guys' thoughts? Thoughts on Hyundai or Hyundai or however the fuck you pronounce that shit. Thoughts on them possibly buying Fiat Chrysler.
Yeah.
Ooh.
What's your
Oh,
guys'
God.
thoughts on it, and what do you think might happen to Fiat, Chrysler, Dodge, and all them?
I mean, is
and Jeep.
like
I could
Hyundai and
see the
Kia really doing
Italians
that
saying
well
that.
that they can buy them out? I mean, I don't really think they'd be
Yeah.
doing that well to buy
Okay,
them out.
Yeah,
Good
Yeah, but
point.
I could see the Italians being total sellouts.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you mean? They already are sellouts. Chrysler owns them.
Exactly.
It's like what?
I thought it was
fact, there
Fiat
was-
that owned Chrysler. Which one is it?
Fiat
fact-
owned Chrysler for a while,
Fiat-
but then Chrysler got
Chrysler.
big enough to buy him back.
Oh, really?
In fact, this is what I just heard from Brian Cooley from Edmonds. I believe it's Edmonds, and he said that the Charger and the old Chrysler 300 is going to be discontinued by 2020, and they're going to bring back a new vehicle using the Julia platform.
Oh, they're getting rid of the Chrysler 300 next year.
Right, so 2020 is going to be the last year, is what they're saying.
Well, yeah, I've heard about them like trying to use the Julia platform for like the Charger and the Challenger, but
How's I
I
don't
didn't
know if that's
hear-
going to
like,
work.
Okay,
I mean,
I
that
keep-
platform is kind of small compared to those two cars.
Yeah, no kidding.
I keep hearing rumors that they're getting rid of the Challenger and bringing back the Barracuda name.
Yeah,
Yeah, we had this talk last podcast about Chrysler bringing back the Cuda name under Dodge, and that would be such a stupid move.
I mean, yeah, but they brought back the Demon.
But I mean, because the Cuda was a Plymouth, it's not a Dodge. That's the thing. Why would you call it a Dodge Cuda? You know.
Yeah, but why bring the Demon back as a Challenger and not as the Dart that it was?
Well, at least the Demon is a Dodge.
yeah,
but
true. Yeah. Well, maybe that's because they turned the freaking Dart into a neon. That's probably why they didn't do it that way.
Yeah, they
Oh,
changed
yeah.
the Neon back to the Dart name. Get it right.
Okay, whatever. Okay, let's see.
I don't know. That Barracuda would be a badass car to bring back, but it's
Oh,
almost
yeah.
like who was it that you were saying, Jonathan, that you heard about? I think they were going to bring back either a Firebird through the Buick.
Yeah, they
brand.
were going to bring back Firebird and Trans Am through Buick.
Yeah.
Like, who the hell's going to buy that?
That seems weird. Why wouldn't they just? Well, yeah, because Pontiac's gone now, though.
I mean, it's not like they can just like start Pontiac back over. I mean, it's not like it's impossible to do that, right?
I mean, they could badge it as that, but then again, Pontiac doesn't exist at this point.
Right, but they can bring it back. I mean, it is GM.
Oh, yeah.
They own the trademark.
Yeah, correct.
So what? It's not like they have to rebuy the trademark.
Well, actually, I think Trans Am Depot has. I think the thing for the Trans Am though, because they've been making Trans Ams from Camaros.
Right, but they bought they didn't. They
didn't buy the trademark. They bought the name.
Yeah, no. They're being licensed. They're paying to use the license to use the Trans Am. They don't own it, so they have a contract to allow them to produce so many cars a year. Hence why they've made the 77 Trans Ams for the Smokey and the Bandit, because it's from the year 1977. So they only made 77, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Winchester in the comments says Ferrari is under Fiat too, apparently.
Yeah.
Really?
I didn't know about that.
Wow.
That's almost as good as Volkswagen owning Lamborghini. Hold on, let me just go get in my Volkswagen Huracan.
Yeah.
Work.
Well, you know Bugatti's under them too.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Volkswagen owns Porsche too.
Well, they,
so, I
they,
mean...
they do own Lamborghini. I don't know. I mean, and they own Audi.
They own a lot of Volkswagen owns a lot of stuff. I know that they own like Lamborghini and Bugatti and all those other ones. Like if you look at a Bugatti key, it's the same thing as a Volkswagen key.
Yeah.
And my friend actually got a replacement water pump for his GTI, and it said Bugatti on it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like I
The more
forget
you
who
know.
the heck. It's like I remember somebody had bought in Aston Martin, and the key, it has like this really pretty leather all over it, and it's a freaking I think it was a
It's a Volvo key.
Yeah, exactly, because Ford used to own Volvo many years ago, but they don't own it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, wow, that's different.
Interesting.
All right, here's a good topic that I think everybody should be able to talk about. What kind of stuff in the car world do you think should be banned and why?
Stents cars.
Excessive camber.
Stents
That's
cars.
pretty much the
Excessive
same thing.
Well, yeah, there is. I mean, I mean, like, it becomes a danger at some point when you don't have your tire touching the
Like
ground.
Rob Ferretti's Miata?
Yeah, it's dangerous. Like, it's not even.
He already brought it up.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah,
He did a
Ferretti.
whole video on it.
Exactly.
But that's
Yeah.
probably the number one thing because I mean, it's honestly not safe. I mean, I've heard of people driving their stance cars over railroad tracks and the frame getting caught on the railroad tracks and just ripping the car apart.
I can believe it.
You mean leaving the car there?
Yeah, it left. Yeah, exactly. Like the frame gets caught and it just like it happened. There's a guy around here that has a WRX that happened to. He just destroyed it.
Turbos that are
Like,
too
yeah,
small.
you can have them low to
Holy
a
shit.
point, and then, like, after a while, it's just too low.
Well, yeah, that's why I only have my car dropped an inch because I don't want it any lower than that because it's functional at what it's at.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 1-inch drop. It looks good. It's functional and it's not hurting anything. I'm not scraping all the time and getting caught on stuff.
Speaking of Ferretti, his podcast is over.
Well, at least maybe we'll get some more viewers now.
Yeah.
I think one thing that should be that I can't necessarily say banned because it's always going to be there, but one thing that I wish that wasn't in the car world was like these assholes. You know what I mean? That one asshole you see at the car show that's like,
oh, well, that's never going to go away.
Yeah.
exactly.
There's always
That's
going
one
to be
thing
people like that.
What kind of asshole you said?
Well, you know what asshole I'm kind of referring to. Who thinks he's king shit because he has a nice car?
Oh, okay.
Or you have the
saying
ones that are too competitive and they get mad if they don't win.
Yeah.
So they end up buying another new car and trying to make it faster.
Or they try and make the car they have faster and it ends up breaking on them.
Jonathan knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Wait, who are you talking about?
I'm not gonna say. We'll talk about it privately. I'm not starting.
Okay,
beef.
just message me then. Message me then real quick so I know who you're talking about because I'm gonna be wondering the entire podcast.
Okay,
So
so
message me and tell
if I
me.
had to pick one thing that I wish was banned from the car world, you know how truck guys put like big lifts on trucks, but they squat them in the back.
I
I
saw
thought
that.
you were gonna say
Oh
the
my
freaking
God,
net
that's
sack
so
on the back at first.
That is such the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
I
Or
literally
when they
never.
have it lifted up real nice, but they have tiny little tires on them.
Oh God. they got low profile tires that belong on a
Yeah,
or excessive size rims.
Yeah.
Like
I know.
like
They put,
that
these
just look
24-inch
ridiculous on
rims
cars.
Oh, I lifted my truck 12 inches. It's got 34-inch tires.
Well, no, forget
34-inch
trucks.
wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about like the lifted like Monte Carlo that's on like 28s
The
or
Donk
30s?
cars.
Yeah.
Those are ridiculous.
Yeah.
If you have a Monte Carlo, you gotta put hydraulics on the damn thing, wire rims.
I'm like,
Well-
you're in the Monte Carlo and you're higher than a pickup truck that's stopped.
Yeah.
And then he hits like
Yeah, that's like
the car just goes.
Yeah, when he was talking about those squatted trucks, I didn't even know they existed till I went on vacation to Myrtle Beach one year because
Yeah, they're all over.
they're never
Oh
up
my
here.
God.
Like I went down there and the whole thing on down the strip where the beach was at, there's all these trucks that were riding like this. And like
Yeah.
they're real lifted in the front
hey,
and like
hey, come to my area, like where I live. I live in like Harnett County, North Carolina, just like
yeah.
30 minutes south of Raleigh. and
Oh, yeah.
they are everywhere.
Well, yeah, I literally had to ask like someone who lived there. I'm like, is this a normal thing? Like, what is that? Like, it's
Yeah.
like it doesn't look normal. Like, why is it lifted in the front? And like some of them were lowered in the back. They would lower the back
really
and like lift the front.
It's shockingly, it's mostly a North and South Carolina thing.
Well,
Like,
yeah, because
you
when I went down
everywhere.
there, I saw them everywhere, but I never saw them when I was up here. So like when I saw the people that were like native to around there, I'm like, what is that and why do they do it? Like I was just shocked when I
It's
saw
like a
it.
stink bug.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because most of the stuff we have people that like off-road a lot up here, so like a lot of the trucks are like lifted and they have like big like 38s on them and stuff. So like
Yeah.
when I see stuff like that, I'm like, what the heck's going on?
Yeah, a lot of those guys who squat the trucks in the rear, I like to call them pissy
Oh.
Yeah, it looks like the truck's taking a shit.
shit.
Yeah, it looks like it's rolling down the road taking a shit. That's what it looks like.
That's kind of funny.
It's kind of like one day.
Kind of like how John Doc's constipated right now. That's why he didn't show up.
I
hope he's watching right now. Oh my god.
John, you know what I'm talking about.
But yeah, back to the whole squat in the rear thing. I think one day I was riding through downtown Raleigh and I saw one of those squatted trucks, and on the trailer hitch, it had like one of those like ball and chains like hanging from the tow hitch. It was kind of
Yeah.
funny looking.
Was it scraping the ground?
Almost.
Take over a big enough bump, it'll scrape the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
One cat. Martin, what do you mean one cat?
You know what I'm saying. You don't need to say who.
Oh, Hellcat. Okay.
If there was one thing in the car world I had to get rid of,
So
it would be turbos that were only big enough to clean up exhaust. Like they don't make any power whatsoever.
Well, that's like on like your economy cars, like the I don't know if you've ever seen the 1 liter 3-cylinder Fiestas that have turbos on them.
Oh yeah.
I've seen them on BMWs where they were just way too small.
Well, the turbo's like smaller than my fist.
Yeah.
On those Fiestas, they're so tiny, like they're just for gas mileage.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
I mean, it's on a 3-cylinder. The motor's 1 liter.
I was gonna say it's a turbo for a riding lawnmower.
Yeah.
you mean a Honda Civic, right?
So Jack's car.
Or a Lesbian.
No, Jack has an Accord, not a Civic, but yeah, pretty much.
Close enough.
Upgrade.
For Honda.
Did you not hear what I said? I said a Lesbrew.
It's brutal.
Yeah, because the minute you upgrade that damn turbo and make more boost, what happens? Yeah, she runs good, but she broke again. I need to replace something in the crank. They're real reliable, but I need to put something else in the crank. Or I need to forge the pistons. Or I need to do this to the transmission. Or I need to do that. It's like, or the transfer case just broke. It's got too much power. It's because you already.
Speaking of like Subaru, what do you guys think about the direction Mitsubishi's going with the Evo and the Eclipse?
Aren't they doing the Evo into like an SUV kind of thing now? I didn't see the whole Eclipse. I didn't see what they do for the Eclipse, but I did see the Evo thing.
The Eclipse, they turned it into a crossover, pretty much.
What?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They should completely. They should not name it the Eclipse. They should name it something completely different.
Yeah, like if they're gonna get rid of like the Evo and the Eclipse altogether, just don't bring them back as an SUV.
Well,
that's like what the fuck.
This is the thing. Isn't there going to be like a whole legal thing where they said they made the Evo Final Edition? If they name the next thing then an Evo again, all the people that bought the Final Edition, wouldn't they technically have a lawsuit kind of thing going on where they would like take the name and they basically lied about the Final Edition thing?
Yep.
Make a good point.
Because like technically it's not the Final Edition at that point if they're renaming another car the Evo.
What are they turning into Lamborghini?
What, making SUVs?
No, remember how they're always making the special edition Velosa something and
Yeah.
you know the SVTS and it's like it's all the same damn fucking car.
Yeah.
Just a couple different things.
It's a different body kit. That's what
They have to pay
that's
$10,000 for.
No. They have to pay $200,000 more for this body kit, and it's the same fucking Lamborghini Huracan or Diablo or whatever.
Oh my god.
It's ridiculous.
Diablo's way out in production.
Well, I know. I'm just saying, but just started with Diablo, right? And then it went on to the Murcielago, right? Or the Murcielago, right? and then it's the Aventador, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now they have what's the new one? The is it the
Huracan?
Well, the
Huracan?
Huracan's after the Gallardo.
Right, and then they have the Gallardos. They're the baby Lambos, but I'm just saying that's what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, is anybody here a VIP or a Salamandrian VIP?
No, I'm not.
No, none of you.
Nope.
No.
I'm the only one here.
Just
me?
you.
Okay.
You're the only one that has a hard on for Alejandro.
No. Asshole.
Dude, he just called you number one.
Yeah, he called me number
He
one.
called you
and said
number
I'm an
one.
asshole. Well, I got an asshole, so I mean.
I need to close my window. It's
Well,
starting
so do
to
you.
rain here. Shit.
No, jeez. Nah, don't shit in the
Everyone's-
GTO. You don't want to fuck up the
No.
seats.
No.
Don't say that it's good starting to rain. I gotta paint tomorrow.
Well, I'm in New Mexico. How is it gonna rain there right now while I'm here?
See, I thought you were still up. For whatever reason, I keep thinking when Jonathan's talking about you, you're in Maryland.
No, I'm
No.
in New Mexico.
Oh, in
No,
that
the
case-
Mexicans in New Mexico.
You can keep the rain then.
Yeah, keep the rain.
Yeah, but
All right, here's
it's
a good topic. Oh, go ahead, Martin.
No, go ahead. I'll show you guys in a second. Let me pull it up first.
Since we were talking about Lamborghini, what's your guys' thoughts on Lamborghini possibly making an off-road Huracan that could be a coupe or convertible?
Off-road for a car?
Off-road for a Lamborghini.
I know they make like SUVs and stuff, but like, why would they take a you said it was an Aventador, right?
Huracan.
No, the Huracan.
Well, is it gonna like have a lift kit on it or something? Like, I don't know. It just seems weird to me.
I mean, at this point, it's just renders and rumors. But
Yeah.
what's your guys' thoughts if they did decide to do that?
Well, I mean, Lamborghini is known for making some crazy shit. So
that is true.
I mean, they'd
That's why
find a
I'm
way
not
to
gonna put it past them.
I know they'd find a way to make it work, but what I'm saying is like, it's already like an exotic car. Like, you'd have to do so many changes to it if you're gonna make it off-road capable and claim that from the factory. Because if someone does something stupid with it, then all the claims that they made about it are gonna be false. So.
because I mean, like, I go back to my point of Lamborghini making stupid stuff. Go back to the LMO02.
That's what I was just about to say.
They made it was an SUV, and they took the engine from, what was it, a Diablo or a Countach?
Countach. And they got like 5 miles to the gallon, and it was amazing.
They just threw in a big ass SUV, and that's probably like the craziest thing they've ever done.
It weighed like 4 tons.
That thing was insane. But yeah, it'd be interesting if they made a Huracan an off-roader.
Yeah, because I mean, like the whole SUV thing, like, yeah, I get that. I see them doing it with an SUV, but if they're gonna do it with a car,
Yeah,
that's gonna need a lot of modification just to work properly.
Hey, you know what I was gonna say?
Yeah.
That'll be Stradman's new Lamborghini. Since he always has the ski box.
True.
That would make sense.
Yeah, Stradman. There you go. There's your new car, bro. He's always with.
Stratton buys almost everything. So.
Yeah, he's
Okay,
always
here's
with
a good one.
Daily Driven Exotics.
Oh, well, Street Speed just posted something, apparently.
Yeah, I just saw that. I'm about to check it out.
Yeah, I'm not going to check it. I need to get to the next topic. Let's see. What are some growing car trends that's going around? Anybody know of any?
Jimbo's new car.
Jimbo's new car, what?
Who's? Oh wait, I gotta take this off. Hold on. I'm sorry. It has the picture. It shows his car with Jimbo's new car, the new C4.
Oh, so in that video it shows the.
Yeah, look, that's the C4. That's the C4 right there.
That looks like a C5.
Or C5. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, so he has a C5 already then.
Yeah, he must have found another one.
Yeah, did y'all see that video where he was with that C4 he was about, or C5 he was about to buy? That thing was a piece of junk.
Yeah, it was a piece of shit.
And it was a Z06, which made me pretty sad.
Yeah. Well.
Okay. Anybody know of any growing car trends going around?
Oh God. Honestly, like I don't think so.
No.
Well, around here it seems to be squatting trucks.
Or the LEDs they put underneath the cars.
Yeah, that's
Like Jimbo did
that's
those
starting to make a
before?
comeback. Yeah,
Underglow.
Yeah, where
Yeah.
everybody drives on the road even though they're illegal.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's one thing that's
Okay,
making
well-
like a comeback. But I mean,
Yeah.
other than that, I mean, most of the stuff that's trending is all like stance and
Yeah.
slamming your car and stuff like that. So
Slamming your car on its nuts, as Rob Freddy would say.
yeah.
Which, I mean, never mind. Okay, so what do you guys think is the best hypercar company and why?
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Oh god.
I am going to go with Koenigsegg.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm gonna stick with McLaren because they're more reliable.
Yeah, I was about to say McLaren because of their reliability.
Because everything else is not very reliable. Although all the new Huracans are good. I mean, look at Parker. He beats the shit out of his, and
Is the
doing
Huracan
fine.
considered a hypercar or a supercar?
supercar, I guess. You know.
I don't know. There's like I don't know. It's not really like a defined line. I don't think when they split it in between, but because I mean, you got to figure like some of the cars that McLaren makes are only considered supercars, and then some of them are hypercars.
Right.
So like you couldn't like.
I'm gonna have to go with Pagani here.
Yeah, but it's
I'll be
unreliable.
honest, I've never really been a big Pagani fan. Like, I don't like how it looks. That's just my
What
personal opinion.
what
No,
was the
they're-
last
no, they're
hypercar they made
badass.
besides the Wyra? Because I don't think they've
The
made it.
Zonda.
Did
I
they
think
make?
it's the Wyra and the Zonda, I think is
Well,
all they have.
Well, yeah, they made the Zonda like a while ago, but like I'm talking like ever since the Wyra came out. What is that? 2011?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they're working on a new one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what have they made
Not yet.
since?
Yeah, I think they're just milking the hell out of the Wyra.
Well, they probably can't sell it, honestly. How many people do you know that? Well, how many people have you seen that actually have bought one? I've never seen one in person.
Alejandro.
In the middle of buttfuck nowhere, no one.
I mean, I've gone to like if you go to like Cars and Coffee and stuff like that, I've never seen one. I've seen a LaFerrari before. I've seen a Wyra.
Well, that's the thing. I bet you 9 out of 10, if we were in California, we'd see them all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
But we're in,
Go-
you're in PA, I'm in Maryland, so we're not going to see it.
I was about to say you can always go to Dubai. You can see them everywhere. probably.
Yeah.
Dubai, you'll
Yeah,
see
but those fuckers
frickin'
have money.
Pagani cop cars, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, you see Lamborghini cop cars. What is it? The McLaren
Gotti.
SLR cop cars. Yeah, you see everything out there.
Everything.
It's
That's like it's supercar and hypercar heaven. Man.
yeah. It's
Mhm.
what's crazy is they have so much money that if somebody runs out of gas somewhere, they just leave their car there and they just like, whatever, have somebody else pick it up, and they just get another one.
That's crazy.
They have no concept
Wow.
of not having money because they have money. These people.
Tell them to come
Yeah.
over here and work for minimum wage for about a month and a half.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
true that. Okay, here's a good one. Why do you guys think the new C7 ZR1 hasn't come out yet?
I'm saying it's purely
not
due
ready.
to the plant remodel.
Yeah,
it's
that
not-
could be a good reason.
It's not ready. I'll be right back, guys.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe they just don't think they're ready to release it. Maybe they just want to tweak it some more and make it the perfect Corvette or something.
Or maybe
Maybe.
they're gonna stretch. Like, one thing I've heard is like they're gonna stretch it to when the mid-engine comes out in like 2019 or whatever. So therefore, they're selling a brand new front engine and mid-engine car at the same time.
Yeah, but then again, they'd be
That's
like
what I've
they'd be
heard.
almost competing against themselves at that point.
Right.
They'd be like, "Are you
Exactly.
gonna buy this one or are you gonna buy this one?" So they'd be competing against themselves.
And then what if the ZR1 is as fast as their mid-engine car? Then they're like, oh,
Exactly.
Yeah.
maybe because have you guys seen the spy shots of the mid-engine car running around?
I've seen one or two
So
of
clearly
them.
they're already
Yeah.
into doing the mid-engine car. So maybe another reason why they haven't brought it out is they found out that the ZR1 is faster than their mid-engine car, and they're like, oh, fuck. We got to figure out either how to A, get the mid-engine car faster, or B, detune the ZR1.
And I don't think they would detune it because they want it to be better than the Z06.
Well, yes, but if they bring out a front and mid-engine car that both match their top speeds, they could sell the mid-engine car for its handling purposes.
That's true.
True.
That's very true. Yeah.
But then you got to figure the ZR1 it doesn't have bad handling in itself to begin with.
Exactly.
Because I mean, they ran the ZR1 around the Nürburgring, correct?
Yeah.
I think they did, but obviously there is no official time.
Yeah.
I don't think they did it officially, or they just haven't released the time.
Yeah.
I haven't released the time.
But now, as of right now, the fastest car around the Nürburgring
Was that
is
new
the
Porsche?
Porsche GT2 RS.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, that thing was stupid fast around the ring.
Was it 647?
Something like
Yeah, I
that.
think
That's
it's like
just
Well, here's the thing.
ridiculous.
You guys remember when Lamborghini took the new Huracan Performante out?
Yes.
And it beat the whatever car was the highest one, and then everybody was like, "Oh no, there's no way it could beat it.
Mm-hmm.
Like they must be cheating." And then when Porsche does it, nobody assumes that. But they beat the sub 7 minute. They were below 7 minutes.
Yeah.
So they just beat the Performante out of the water.
In a
But
Porsche.
yet nobody. Well, Porsche took the record.
Yeah, they're
so.
they're known for good handling.
Yeah, but I'm surprised Porsche actually let a GT2 beat their 918.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's actually
That's kind of surprising.
Because I mean, the 918 is stupid fast to begin with.
What did the 918 run on the Nürburgring?
Good question.
I can't even remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, if you look it up, and then like, if it's not that big of a difference, then I mean, but it's still, what's going to be the price difference between those two cars? And if the GT2 is faster, then what's the point of buying the 918?
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna buy it just
Porsche
to say you have one.
918 Spider was a 6-minute 57-second lap time.
So it's exactly 10
Wow,
seconds
I just
faster.
brought that up too.
So the GT2 would be 10 seconds faster than a 918.
Wow.
Mhm.
Freaking just obliterates the 918. Jesus.
What do they sell the GT2 at price wise? Do they not?
Let me see. I don't know if they've released it yet. Porsche GT2 RS price.
Because I mean, they have to if it's running
$249,250.
So you could buy 4 GT2s for the price of one 918.
Yeah.
And it's faster.
Yeah.
That's weird that they would.
That's pretty insane.
That's insane that they would let it beat it.
Surprised. I know. Well, that kind of shows you that what kind of company Porsche is, though.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they're not trying to keep the big. Yeah, it might piss off everybody that bought a 918, but the GT2 RS is the new fastest one.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever think maybe they're going to come out with like a new top of the line model?
Well,
it's not a regular 911.
How old is the 918 platform at this point? Like I don't know I forget when it came out.
All right, I'm back.
Came out like what, 2?
Trying to search it here real quick.
It was released.
Okay,
November
God,
18th,
it's old.
2013.
It was the 918 originally appeared as a concept in 2010 at the Geneva Auto Show.
And
what
it
was
started
the first?
production in
November
2013.
18th, 2013. It
Yeah.
was pretty much 2013.
Okay, so it's coming up on being a 5-year-old car.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. I mean, like that's for a model year. I mean, that is kind of like on the older side for like a first gen.
Yeah.
Year, but
So,
Sounds like the Stingray.
maybe they're gonna come out with a new 918, or maybe do a completely different model to be their new supercar flagship. Since obviously, technically, their current flagship, the 918, is kind of beat by a 911 now.
Yeah.
So
honestly, people are going to think I'm weird, but I've always liked the Lamborghini Espada from back in the day, and I'd love to see a concept of a new one.
that'd be interesting. But I don't think Lamborghini's the kind of company to bring back older models. They just come out with new ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, still, even if they just brought up a concept to make people happy.
So basically make you happy.
Yeah, but then people will be pissed if they just made a concept and that was it.
And they're not going to do anything. That's like Subaru with the STI BRZ.
Well, I mean,
Subaru needs to update, the shit a little bit more often.
Yeah.
And,
back in 2011, they made a mirror concept.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Did not know that.
Interesting.
Let me see mirror concept. I'm actually gonna look it up.
Pretty sure it was 2011.
So,
here's a good topic. If you guys want to, is there anything else we want to say about this one, or should we move on?
I wanted to ask you real quick. What was it you guys were talking about the ZR1?
No, it was 2006. Still though.
Oh, the ZR1 we were talking about why we think it hasn't come out yet, and then we got into the topic about the new
I see it now.
GT3RS.
I see the concept you're talking about.
Yeah, it was 2006.
It basically looks like the same thing.
Yeah, just a newer version.
Yeah. The back actually looks like a Murcielago.
Which is another thing. If all these American car makers still have the blueprints and the dice to make cars like they did back in the day, but make them safer,
Yeah.
why not make like a brand new version of the Tri-5 Chevy?
Tri-5 Chevy.
Like the 55 through 57 Bel Airs?
Oh, yeah, that would be cool.
That'd be interesting if they brought the Bel Air back.
Yeah, they still have the blueprints not to make them and all the machinery. Why not just make a new version of a safer car from back in the day?
Probably because they don't think it'll. They probably don't think it'll sell.
I think the best example they could have done that to is the Challenger, the newer Challengers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean,
Well,
if you think about it, the newer Challenger is identical to the old one, except it's a bit bigger.
It's more bulky in size, I guess.
You know what
Yeah,
Chevy
she's
would
bigger.
that should bring back, and I think it would sell, kind of like Ford bringing back the Bronco, the GMC Jimmy.
Yeah,
I think that'd be a pretty good one to bring back. Yeah.
And then the Chevrolet trim
Blazer.
the Blazer.
Oh,
Yeah.
the Blazer.
No, I
Exactly.
think what would be cool is if a Chevy brought back the El Camino.
I don't
And
know
they-
how well you'd
and-
sell over here.
And they are, but see, that's the thing. They already have it, but it's already going to go away, which is the Ute
Yeah.
in Australia.
Yeah.
And those things
Yeah.
are awesome, man. I've seen them in person. They're amazing.
Mm-hmm.
They even have some with the LSA. In fact, Randy Reese is the owner and operator of Left Hand Utes, and basically you can order a Australian, and he will convert it from a right hand drive to a left hand drive, and it'll be street legal, ready to go, ready to be registered wherever you live.
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Interesting.
So if anybody wants to check them out, go to Left Hand Utes. Randy Reese, he's your guy. In fact, I think Doug.
you know how you guys, we were talking about earlier how the Chrysler 300 is supposed to be non-existent soon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next year.
Well, I've heard rumors of Chrysler possibly making a Chrysler 300 Hellcat with a wide body.
I heard that
Oh.
too.
That would be interesting.
I heard that.
It'd be an
I think
interesting
that would be
concept,
interesting.
but I don't know how well it would sell though.
Well, they don't
Yeah.
even have the SRTs anymore, other than like in Europe, available in Australia. They
Right.
stopped making the SRT versions of the Chrysler. And I honestly think that was always better looking in the previous years,
Like
in my opinion.
the 2007 body style ones.
Well, yeah, compared to the Dodge version, because the
Oh yeah.
Dodge has always been, it was okay looking. It was later on in the years where it got better looking, you know, as like now it's a really good looking car. That side blade on the side of the doors, that makes absolutely no sense. It looks like shit, I think. It's like, don't stamp that in my car, please. Can I order it and just don't stamp that part. Leave it straight. You know?
Okay. If Chrysler and Dodge are going to bring anything back, like I know they're bringing back the Ram Charger, and I'm loving that. But
that's pretty cool.
I would love it if they bring
I
back
never
like
heard
the
about that.
Dodge
They're bringing back
Coronet.
the Ram Charger?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Coronet would be cool.
Yeah, the Coronet would be pretty cool too.
Yeah, they're bringing back the Ram Charger. It's supposed to be out either next year or 2019.
You know what would be cool?
Interesting.
Even my girlfriend agrees with me because she likes it. Is the Dodge Magnum?
Yeah.
That would be a cool fucking car to have. It's kind of like the SRT. No, actually, I'm sorry. The Cadillac CTSV wagon. That's like the unicorn. There's very little of those that were made.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, Doug DeMuro used to have one when he first got started.
Yep.
Oh shit, that Ram Charger looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
That looks really cool.
Can't wait for it to come back.
I I got
Doesn't
an
have some
interesting
pre-ordered.
topic for us. What cars that are coming out soon, or just came out like this year or something like that, are you most excited about, and why?
Just collective from the group.
Yeah.
Well, the new ZR1. That's easy for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say
ZR1
that.
gonna
I
come
think
out in
another
2020.
one that's going to be interesting is the Bronco.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard of them bringing back a Ranger Raptor. I've heard of them doing a Ranger Raptor, too, which I think that might be pretty interesting as well.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what they're going to do about, because I heard the rumors about the new GT500.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
curious
I've
to see
heard
what they're
about
going to
that.
do with that, because I know they're going to want to get over the horsepower level that the Hellcat did, but I mean, you don't know for sure, but
That's the thing. Nobody knows anything about what Ford's doing.
no,
Like,
they've kept their mouth shut, and no one
and they must be
knows what's going
testing
to
in,
happen
like,
with
some
it.
underground tunnel or some kind of bullshit, because
Yeah, but I mean,
nobody's really seen much either.
no, but we've
They've
all
been
heard about
testing
it.
everything on their own private track late at night when no one else is around.
But I'm curious to see what they're going to do with the GT500.
Yeah. One thing I wish Ford would do is bring back the Cobra.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, they brought back the GT500 with the S197s, right?
Yeah, the 2007, 2008 models.
Yeah.
That was the first year they brought it back.
So the older days, like with the older body style, they had the GT500s.
Mm-hmm.
Then with the S197s, they had the GT500s. But those two kind of look similar to each other. Kind of see where I'm getting at? Like, the new edges with the Cobras looked more like it had more body lines to it. It was more of like a sleeker design.
Mm-hmm.
Not like completely... Not like older... It didn't look like the old ones. Now the new S550s don't look much of anything like the old ones either.
No,
They have like a more
that's
sleeker body style similar to the new edges. So why not bring the Cobra back with the S550 instead of the GT500?
Are you
I think they
talking?
should bring the Cobra back.
Are you talking like the Cobra Jet from like the late from
No,
like
no,
the
no, no,
70s,
no, no, no,
or like a
no, 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 no,
Terminator
no.
Cobra?
Terminator Cobra.
That's I mean that's a I mean that's like a different concept, but I mean you got to figure is SVT still a thing that they'd be able to do that and badge it as like an SVT, or is that not a division anymore?
I don't think that's a division anymore. I don't think.
So
I think it's mostly just
SVT
Ford
is
Performance.
going out the
now.
window.
Yeah. So technically, could they call it a Cobra and like not badge it as an SVT, or what would they badge it as?
Well, yeah, because they had Shelby Cobras back in the day,
Well, yeah,
which were
yeah.
still Ford GTs.
Yeah, they could just badge it as a Terminator Cobra. Like, they don't have to have anything special. Like, they don't have to call it a Shelby. They don't have to call it an SVT. Just call it the Mustang Terminator Cobra.
Well, it doesn't even have to be a Terminator.
You can just call it a Mustang Cobra at that point.
Yeah, like, but I mean, like, it got the nickname pretty well. It's like not an official nickname, but I mean, if Ford decides to bring it back, they could make that the official nickname.
Honestly, if
Yeah.
Ford was going to bring back a car, I'd love to see him bring back the Torino.
You know what would
Yeah.
be good?
Yeah, that'd
A good
cool.
question.
Hmm.
What about the Lightning?
What's that?
Did you see the dealership that was
Oh.
building them?
The SVT Lightning.
Yeah.
There was a dealership that built two of them in Georgia, a black one and a
Yeah.
black one and a red one, I think, right?
Mhm.
Or I could be wrong.
Yeah, I saw the black one.
I saw the
didn't see a
black
red
one too. They're charging 50,000 for it, and it's 650 horsepower.
I'm not even much of a Ford fan, and I came up with the best idea. The Lightning.
The SVT, the Lightning would be pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, but technically a dealership's already doing it.
Yeah, a dealership did build
so-
two of them so far. I mean,
So that clearly says Ford can do it if they really want to.
I mean, they basically just put badges on it. They put a Roush supercharger on it, bigger wheels, and a side exit exhaust, and then then badge it as an SVT
Mhm.
Lightning. I mean, for
So,
50,
if dealerships are going to badge it as an SVT Lightning, why don't they do it with the Cobra too? Like, if they
I
bring
mean
back
that's
the
true.
Cobra.
But then you got to
Like,
figure
it's
it was
still a Ford division.
yeah.
Like, it might not be there anymore, but they can
But they
still
still have the trademark
badge
and
it.
the
Yeah.
license, yeah.
But you got to
Exactly.
figure a dealership badged it as an SVT, not Ford. That's one thing you got to remember.
If you're a pro member, you're already participating in all these raffles. So all you
Martin,
Yes.
why are you watching Salamandran while we're trying to do the podcast?
I'm looking for his secret car.
But
I
you
wanna
could
show
Well,
you
you
guys.
already know what it is.
Yeah. But I want to show you guys what it is.
So wait, did he finally release it?
Yeah, well, no, it's only for pro members. Not.
Oh.
Yeah, so only.
I
pro
know what it
members
is because Martin told me, but
I don't know
actually,
if I
I
should
don't.
reveal it. I don't know if I should reveal it because
Yeah.
he says don't reveal it, but I don't know if I should reveal it.
Well, guess what? I'm just gonna say. Oh wait, I already told who I heard it from. Fuck. Never mind. I was gonna say a little birdie told me. Well, how about this? I'll get everybody guessing in the comments. It's a car we have talked about on this podcast.
Wait, what are they guessing?
That's all I'm saying. What Salamandran's secret car is. It's a car we brought up in the podcast. That's all I'm saying.
Oh.
Car, so you got to think.
Yeah.
Salamandran and the type of cars we talked about.
What are people saying?
Oh, shit. Sorry, Marty. I just got back to the comments section. I forgot to put it back on my phone.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, he doesn't look too happy.
Sorry, Marty. My bad. Okay, Marty's guessing Cobra and Hellcat. Nope, neither one of those. Salamandran would not. Well, the Hellcat, he might get another one at some point, but no.
Especially after being on that Cobra, or I'm sorry, that Hellcat that girl owns. And my battery's dying here. I'm becoming the Blair Witch Project over here. I went from being white to now I look Mexican.
I mean, you are Mexican.
I am Mexican.
No, you're new Mexican.
Yeah, technically, I guess.
So does anybody in here want to guess what the car is? It's something we've talked about already.
That's a lot of stuff, though.
Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff.
Exactly.
I mean,
I'm not going to make it easy for you guys to guess. Like, come on.
wait, so you know it?
Yeah, I know.
How do you know it?
I'm a pro member.
Oh,
I know it
God.
because a little birdie told me.
Oh, let me guess. He's the little birdie.
Jonathan, you've probably told me before, and I've just forgotten it.
I'm going to show you
I
this.
told you.
See? Oops. But I'm not going to show you what it is. I'm not going to reveal it because it's not for me to say. See, it says my secret car is here.
Oh, boy.
It's only for pro members. See that?
Okay, so does anybody want to guess?
I have no idea.
Okay, it's an expensive car that we talked about.
Expensive.
Lamborghini.
Everything.
Lamborghini.
How about this? Everything he owns is expensive.
Well, yeah.
Lamborghini.
Well, obviously.
Exactly. That's what you got to think about. Like, he wouldn't go buy a freaking Prius or something like that either.
I think I'm going to agree with that Lynn Chester in the comments with the Lamborghini Aventador.
How about after the podcast is over? If you guys want to stick around, we shall let you know. Because I don't want to reveal it like to the world until he does it.
No, it's not the AMG GTR either.
Marty says Bugatti.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he's wrong. Nobody's guessed it so far, so.
I'm back. But I don't know what you're talking
What's up?
You guys have been close.
Martin was bringing up what Salamandran's secret car is, because me and him know what it is, the one that he's getting, and we're trying to see if anybody else can guess, because it's a car we've talked about in the podcast, but we're not telling everybody which one it is. They have to guess.
Yeah,
I don't watch Salamandran's vids, so I have no idea what it could be, but it's probably something exotic. I don't know.
Exactly.
I'm going to agree with everything he said.
Once we're done with the podcast, whoever wants to stay, I'll reveal it, but don't put it out there.
Alrighty. Nobody's guessed it in the comments anyway, so. Alright, let's go to another topic here. If you could have any race car and it could be turned street legal, like if you could have a race car, like something that's not street legal, and you could somehow get it to be street legal without changing anything on it, what car would it be?
Oh, boy.
Your Camaro.
Well, that's kind of a weird question to ask because of the simple fact that most race cars, even though they're not like physically with all of the structuring and drivetrain, whatever, even if they're not all closely related to it, they're based off of the idea or design of a street car. So
New Cabo Camaro.
I mean, yeah, but how different is, I don't know. My point is just the fact that most race cars are race cars. And so which one do you want to turn into a street car? Whoopsies, craziness. Which one you want to turn into a street car is kind of a weird question to ask, because it kind of makes more sense like, what do you want to turn into a race car? Because a race car isn't really a street car anyway.
Like, I'm not saying you turn the race car into a street car. It's just like you have a race car and you can drive it on the street legally. Like, if you could pick any race car to drive legally on the street, what would it be?
Yes, but I mean, that's what most people do when they build their own cars. They build their own car to go racing with and have fun with, and then they also build it so that they can drive it on the street, because not all of us have $1 million sitting around to just have a dedicated car for every purpose we want to have for.
Well, I'm gonna throw a wrench in there in your statement there, because most times whenever you get a race car, let's put an example of like let's say the Corvette, right? The one that they use in the racing program.
Mm-hmm.
The Z06 actually has more horsepower than the one in the racing circuit, just for the sheer fact that they have to abide by the rules and horsepower and torque and everything else. They just make the car lighter, as light as possible, to try and.
You're talking about the newest Z06 versus the normal ones?
Yes.
No, the reason they do that is because the Z06's supercharger was undersized, and literally every Z06 that's ever been actually driven really hard for any length of time overheats. That's a problem. And that once again goes from the Z06 is not a race car. That's a street car. If you want to talk about an actual race car, then you'd have to think of like actual models of race cars driven in series somewhere, which a lot of us don't remember, and I personally don't. But
you're not listening to what I'm saying.
What? No, you were talking about the Z06 versus the other car.
The C7
versus the normal Corvette.
What I'm saying is that it has more power.
Yeah, I know that. And my point was the fact that it doesn't matter that it has more power. The reason they don't use it racing is because they overheat, because the extra power is provided by a supercharger that does not work efficiently and causes those cars to break down on the racetrack all the time.
Which would be bad for the racing team. That's why they did it that way.
Yeah, because fine, okay, cool. It's faster, fine, for 5 laps, and then it overheats, and then you have to stop.
If I'm not mistaken,
I feel like that's a different scenario. Huh?
I said if I'm not mistaken, it's NA, right?
The Z06?
The one that they use for the race car.
C7R.
No, that's what I'm saying, is the one they use for the race car is naturally aspirated because it's more reliable.
NA. Right, NA.
Yeah, but you were saying that you were comparing it to like, oh, they use a less powerful one for that. And the reason why is just because of the fact that the Z06 ones would overheat. If they didn't overheat, I'm sure they would use those instead. Yeah. Because it is faster.
Well, all they got to do is change some components. They fixed it in the new one that they redesigned. In fact, the supercharger,
they have been changing the system.
Yeah, in fact, the supercharger is bigger on the top for the cooling. It has better cooling for the like the aerodynamics and some of the different the heat exchangers are different. They're bigger, they're thicker. Like the previous generation, everything was too thin, and it would break easy. So any little stone that would get caught in there would crack or break any of the radiators.
Which you do not want.
No. Yeah, at all. Because within a few minutes, that engine is gone.
Hey, Jesse, your camera turned off, by the way.
No, what is going on? Because I'm on my phone now, so I'm trying to figure this out. There we go.
Oh. There you go. Now you're back. Alrighty. Let's go to another topic. Let's see. Okay, how much is too much horsepower? That's pretty controversial right there.
I mean, that's also going to depend on the car.
Yeah.
And what you want to use it for.
Exactly.
Okay, how much is too much horsepower for, let's say,
a 4-cylinder?
For autocross?
We can do it by...
Oh, geez. Well, it's going to depend on the car, obviously. But, I mean, if you have a Miata with like 250 wheel horsepower on an autocross. I mean, it's going to be fast, obviously, but like, is it going to be too much for the track? Hey,
Yeah.
I see you got your hand up.
You say if you have a Miata with 250 horsepower. I was raising my hand.
Okay, I thought you had something to input because I know you're a Miata guy, so I was going to see if you had anything to input on it. But I mean, if you
Yeah, I think I've been to several autocrosses, and I've seen like I've seen one car like a AC Cobra with like a big ass 427 motor in it.
Yeah, I've seen a couple Cobras at the autocross around here before.
Yeah, and they just,
I've seen that. I've seen C5 Z06s. I've seen Miatas. I've seen Honda Civics. I mean,
yeah,
but, you know that
I've even seen like a C7 Z06.
yeah.
So,
And you got to figure too that CJ that's always on that dude in Blues channel with the Coyote 50 with the Watts link on the back of his, he autocrosses that. So I mean, you can autocross anything, but I mean, like you're saying, what's too much power for it? I mean,
right. So
it's always going to depend on what the car is.
It does depend on what the car is, and it depends on the weight of the car too. Like
exactly.
You said, and I'll be honest right now, like you said, you were talking about, just for an example, a 250 horsepower Miata. Like, unless you were literally competing at the highest level where every hundredth of a second makes a difference, like 250 horsepower is way more than you need to autocross a Miata, because you're going to get almost any event you show up at, even if you're at about 200 or less horsepower. Like, if you have the right setup on the car, you can win. I used to beat Porsche Boxsters. I used to beat Corvettes. I used to beat other cars that were, just so much more expensive than my 1990 Miata. Back when I had one that was naturally aspirated. You add power to it, and then you're setting faster times in all those cars.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you said though, 250, you don't need that much, because you have to wind it out to get that, and you don't even have a chance to wind it out to get the full power anyway.
Yeah, it's always going to depend on the platform, because if you take that same 250 horsepower number and apply that to, say, like an Evo or an STI, it's going to be a lot different because of how much heavier the cars are.
Heavier, and then all the extra drivetrain stuff going on, it's not going to get you as far.
Yeah, you'll run into understeer issues with the all-wheel drive. So I mean, it's always going to depend on what car it is.
Yeah, like I know my friend Jeremy, he actually used to autocross a C5 Z06. And then recently he got a Miata that he's going to autocross. He's just doing suspension upgrades to it and stuff like that. Like, he doesn't really plan to do anything with the motor, at least.
He will.
Yeah, probably.
Eventually. You'll get there.
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah, and I mean, as a guy who autocrosses frequently, you don't really need power. You just need a good suspension, because
agility.
Being able to handle a corner at like 40, 50 miles
and not molest the cones either.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you don't need power.
It's all about this good suspension setup, good balance, good driving skill.
Because every autocross I go to, there's always a saying that goes around: the slower and smoother you are, the faster times you'll get.
Mm-hmm.
No, and that's if you're just talking about autocross though. Like, even though I would go and actually autocross, like, I didn't build my car or any of them to autocross it. I did it because I wanted it to be fun to drive. I didn't build it to fit into an autocross class. So, like, and that's something that's different too, because autocross is a sort of racing, and it is competitive. If you try and play in on your local event, they're going to have rankings, they're going to have classes, and then they'll compare that to national rankings and classes and whatever else. And the truth is, like, I don't know. If you want to race in the unlimited class where you can do whatever you want, you can. But then you're competing with people who have a buttload of money to build a dedicated car for it. And I don't know. For me, it's just all about going and having fun. And to be honest, also, to me, it's more fun than anything else. Is just all the mountain roads that are around. It's like, it's way more fun to go drive those, because they're super, super tight and windy. And then if there's straight spots and you have power and you can take advantage of it, that's fun too. I mean, when is it not? Stomping on the gas with a high-powered car is always fun. Yeah. But then all the corners in between make it so much more interesting.
You don't need a high-powered car to have fun.
No.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying I'm just also saying that's something that is also fun.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
understand where you're coming from with the mountain roads, because again, I live on the side of a mountain. Have fun all day long with Malibu, making 100 horsepower.
There you go. Are you in Malibu?
Yeah, it's on 99.
Cool. No, the roads up there are great. I love the roads up there. They're fun and they're very, very beautiful too.
Hey, I was gonna ask you, how does a Saturn Sky or a Pontiac Solstice do against your Miata? They're pretty.
Those
similar.
are different cars. They're built with a different philosophy in mind because they were built by American companies, and they are built. I'll say this: they're built more solidly, but they are very much heavier. They're way heavier than a Miata is, and the gearbox is nowhere near as crisp either. I don't honestly know even how they messed that up, because I've driven plenty of GM cars, which, a Saturn or a Sky, either one, that was a GM car. I've been driven plenty of them that had good gearboxes, and those ones are not bad, but compared to like the Miata or the S2000 or other cars, like where I don't know, it's just like the gearbox is so much crisper and better. You don't feel like you're fighting or clunking into gears, or you're like not sure if it's going to get in.
Yeah.
And then just the steering and everything doesn't feel the same in the Saturn or the Sky, or the Saturn Sky or the Pontiac Solstice.
Right.
And like I said, they're just heavier. They're not very similar. You look at them because you're like, oh, they're both like
two-door convertibles.
Rear wheel drive. They're convertible. It's a small car, and then you're right. But then you put a Miata next to a Saturn Sky or a Pontiac Solstice, and they are both small, but the Pontiac or the Sky both weigh several hundred pounds or more than the Miata does.
Does it matter if it's the turbo version or which is they have it? I think it's the 2-liter, right?
Yeah, they did do a turbo version of it.
They had the Saturn Sky Red Line and the Pontiac Solstice. I think they had another one too. They had a trim of it called the Red Line that was turbocharged.
Yeah, the GXP.
And the GXP. You're right. You got that. So yeah, the GXP. I forgot what that was called. But those things were like, they're fast. I mean, I don't know what you want to say fast is, but they're definitely a lot quicker than a Miata is if you want to go in a straight line.
Yeah.
We'll see what was the power level on
what about going through a canyon road? I think they're like 230, I think, if I'm not mistaken. With the
that's what I'm saying is the weight. If you want to just compare that higher trim one with the more power, like it is faster. And if you want to even say on a windy canyon road, it depends on how tight it is. If it's open enough to make use of that power, then if you have the Red Line or the GXP, then you're going to have more power and pull away in between the corners. But when it comes to actual handling, they're not balanced anywhere near as well. They don't have the same weight distribution, and they don't have the same steering feel. And I don't know, they're just a lot heavier. They don't feel the same way.
Yeah, I just looked up the specs on the Saturn Sky, and the naturally aspirated version is 173 horsepower. Yeah. And the turbo is 260, and the weights are...
Oh, wow. I thought it was less.
No,
the turbo ones were like mid 200s, yeah.
Yeah, and then the weight is 2965 for the naturally aspirated, and then 3036 for the turbo model. So I mean,
there you go.
You got to figure it's going to be 800 pounds more than a Miata, and it's probably not going to have 50-50 weight distribution. And And then at the end of the day, you got to figure it's an American car that was worked together with Pontiac and Saturn.
I can tell you that I drove a few of those Solstice, GXPs. I drove an automatic and a standard, and I mean, definitely the standard was way faster.
Yeah,
like way beyond faster, and like there was this big hill that you come down from Rio Rancho in Albuquerque, and it has this long sweeping turn, and I don't know, it felt to me like the rear end wanted to come out.
Yeah,
as you were going through the turn, so it was oversteering basically.
Mm-hmm.
This is saying on here that the max G's on the skid pad is only a 0.87. Which I mean, if you compare that to a lot of newer cars, a .87 isn't really all that fantastic
No,
Yeah.
but I
for
don't
lateral
pay.
G.
Yeah, I
So I
don't
mean,
pay
like
attention to those very well because like 95% of that has to do with the tires you're on.
exactly.
Seriously, like you can make any car hold a good skid pad number if you
Yeah.
put fat enough, sticky enough tires on it.
Yeah.
True. Jacob, you know we can barely hear you, right?
And see, that's the car I was gonna buy before I bought the GTO.
GTOs are nice, and if I was choosing between like a Pontiac GXP or even a Sky that was the red line or whatever with the turbo, still, like he was saying before, he's pointing out the specs. It's like that car weighs, if you have it in the turbo trim or the higher trim model, between 3,000 or 3,300 pounds, and then it has like 250, 260 horsepower. Like, I don't know. That to me, that's not a boring car at all. If that's just like something you want to buy and drive, like that's actually a very fun car. But if it's comparing to what I want to drive, something that's light and crisp and handles well and feels good, like to me, then I'll pick just building my own Miata or maybe an S2000, even though that's just more money if you get into that conversation. But if you want something bigger and you want something with more power, you say you got like a G8, like those are awesome cars. And it's a very good deal for the drivetrain you get.
Right. What about the MR2?
Which one? There's 3 MR2s.
Well, the last MR2 that they had from Toyota.
The MK3s, those things are cool, and I think they have the best suspension geometry, and they're lightweight, and I really like the way they drive, but there's very small aftermarket for them, and that makes it harder. So the best thing you could possibly do if you owned one of those was to throw one of the 2ZZs in it, because they had the 1ZZ Toyota engine in that thing, and the only reason they didn't throw the 2ZZ in it was because it would have competed too closely with the Lotus Elise. Because legit, the 3rd gen MR2 chassis is a very good chassis, and they drive awesome. I really like the way they drive. But and by the way, like stock for just a normal stock, pretty cheap car, like they're very fun. They're really fun to drive, but on like I'll say like fun on a windy road, but like in a straight line on the freeway, it's like it's not fast. But you throw the 2ZZ in it, and then you also have more power adder options because it has a 2ZZ, then you're talking.
Yeah, Linchester in the comments says for the NA MX-5 is no contest in terms of weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then for a modern GT86 are good daily. I don't know where we weren't talking about anything about that, but I don't know why I brought that up.
I don't know. In my opinion, I don't know. Anything that's newer than 2000, anything really, anything past 2000, even before, it's like if it's a car, it's daily drivable, because no matter what you look at back from like the 70s or before, the people used to drive every single day. Even the crappiest car that was brand new 15 years ago is still better than that. So people like whine about, well, like what's a good DD or what good daily driver? Like, well, like, come on. You can daily anything. Like they're all pretty comfortable and drive well compared to how they used to be.
Yeah.
I mean, I can say that my GTO is a very comfortable daily driver.
Yeah.
Especially before I modified it.
What about now?
That's the key word there.
Yeah, and then it was very good on gas back then, but now it's not so much.
What did you do to it?
I've done everything to it. I have long tube headers from Cooks, high flow cats from Cooks, X pipe, off road X pipe from Cooks, screamer mufflers from Cooks, a full head work on the stock heads, dual springs, cold air intake. Oh yeah, cam too. Everything. There's almost nothing stuck in this car. Even the suspension has BC Riding or BC Racing suspension.
Cool.
All around coilovers from BC.
Mm-hmm. No, I know who BC is.
So it's in fact it doesn't even have stock wheels anymore. It's all under. It has 245 40 CR18s.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's it rides low and it goes.
Yeah, sounds like a fun car.
Even the transmission is completely modified. I went to the gearbox and bought a kit for the T56 because that's what it comes with, of course. And it was all cryogenically treated. And I had a buddy of mine here locally.
You know what? You had a rebuilt transmission that was cryogenically treated put in it?
No. I took my transmission, the one I have, and so what I did is I had it modified and upgraded with everything cryogenically treated. Everything.
Okay, so then you had, if that's what you did, then you had your whole transmission rebuilt.
Yes.
And it was rebuilt with cryogenically treated everything.
Everything, yes, parts.
Yeah, I'm planning on probably doing that eventually because there's a few places out there to do that. And that's actually, I'm really interested that you said that because you're the first person on YouTube, since we're on YouTube, you're the first person on YouTube or in any podcast thing like this I've done that's ever actually known about or mentioned cryogenically treated like parts. Gearboxes or anything. They're parts,
It makes them so much stronger. And all you got to do, I mean, since you have, because you want to do this to your Miata, I'm imagining.
I know a couple people that have been doing that for a while because they build race cars and stuff, and I'm like, as far as Miatas go, they had like 1990 to 2005. Most of them were 5 speeds. A few automatics were sold, and then the 2000, I don't know, was it 99 or 2001? Either one, whatever. 2005. Some of them came with 6 speeds, and those 6 speeds are stronger, so people like them, but they have really crappy gear ratios, which sucks. So I had one, for example, I had one of the strongest ones, even though I'm planning to make more power, and I have made more power. That's a whole nother story on that past. But that was the other option I heard was cryogenically curing the gears. And it's totally different than a lot of other things you'll do because cryogenically treating them, for anybody that's listening or watching that doesn't know, when you heat treat a metal, people say heat treating it makes it stronger. And it does. You heat treat something, it does make it stronger, but it also makes it more brittle. Versus cryogenically treating them, super freezing them basically, it bonds the metal together stronger, but it does not make them more brittle, which is the problem when you get into a really high power car. Let's just say you change gears too fast and drop the clutch too quickly. That sends a big shock to the system, and if those gears are too brittle, they'll just shatter.
Right. And
that's never good.
Basically the company that I went through, like I said, it's called the Gearbox, and all the kits are ready to go. They're just sending you the whole thing,
That's awesome.
So basically, whether like if you have a Mustang, a Corvette, a GT500, doesn't matter. Anything that has a T56 of any kind, all the other all the different Tremec products or Tremec transmissions, they have all the kits ready to go. So
that's awesome.
You order. So all you do is call them up. You order the kit, and they give you everything.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's going to be expensive. I'll tell you what. I ended up spending about $1,000 for everything, just on parts.
Did you install it yourself?
No. I had someone else do it. So
it was $1,000 just to have that, to get that stuff or have it treated, or was that also including labor?
No. That's just parts.
I feel like labor is expensive on that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The labor actually was cheaper than the parts.
Really?
Yeah, I spent about I think it was like $700 for the part for the.
You found a good place, my friend.
Yes, I did. That's why I'm gonna have him rebuild my differential. That's what needs to be happening next. So I'm thinking of maybe having the same thing cryogenically treated differential.
Nice. That's a good idea.
Because I mean, with all the extra stress, I blew out the center support bearing.
Nice.
And
good job.
When that happened, I was when that happened, I was all the way across town, and at the time I didn't have any towing on my coverage.
Oh damn!
So I just limped the car back home, and I was just like, damn. And that damaged a crush bearing in the differential. Unfortunately, it still drives, but it makes a whole lot of noise.
Yeah.
It has this whining noise when I drive it.
Yeah, that's just what's going to happen unless you get it fixed and you get it rebuilt.
Right. So that's what I did. I ended up getting a new replacement bearing or carrier bearing.
Oh, okay.
GTO G8TA.
Cool.
which is your sponsor.
Yeah, actually, they're sponsoring my videos. Actually, yes, they are.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Good
so,
for you. We have no sponsors yet. I would like to get one eventually, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been working with them for a long time, and I've been their customer for a long time too. So, we've talked about it in the past, and now that I have this YouTube channel that's official, he likes my style, and you guys are gonna be seeing a lot of cool stuff being done to my GTO. Like I was telling Jonathan, I'm gonna have the very first GTO with memory seats in the entire United States.
nice.
So
That's cool.
I have everything at Left Hand Utes. Randy Reese got the stuff for me, and it goes from the right hand side to the left, and then I have to print the new body panel where the buttons go for the driver's side on the left.
Nice.
Because obviously the Holden is on the right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Funny.
Hey Martin, did you ever figure out the problem you were having with iMovie on your
I have not.
iPad?
I'll be right back again.
I haven't had a chance.
Alrighty. Alright. Well, I kind of wish it would work for you, so then you could get that video uploaded.
Yeah, no kidding, Mitzi. I'm pissed off because it's like I had it all pretty much ready to go, and I just needed to do, put those screens on the top, and it doesn't let me. Basically, I run my YouTube channel off my phone.
I did that for a
Yeah,
while.
he edits his videos off of his phone and his iPad, and I'm like,
Oh wow,
oh god.
that's
So
crazy.
So it takes a little more time to get it all done,
And it's a much more of a pain in the ass too.
Yeah.
Yes.
I used to only film on my phone though.
Yeah. I did that for a little while too before the big camera finally came in from
same.
Derek Barron Productions. So
You mean the big camera that's worse than my brother's point and shoot?
Point and shoot.
Fuck you, Steven. Just because mine's older.
Like, now you're calling him number one.
Your lens is probably worse than the ones I have for my old cameras.
Oh my god. Go to hell.
Which is funny to me.
Well, I can't afford a better camera.
You put out great videos. Don't get me wrong. I just think it's kind of funny.
Well, that's the thing. Whenever we go to if we get to go to the YouTube call out, which is something I've not discussed on the channel at all, but I might be going, maybe.
I might be going.
I know I am definitely going.
Then I guess that means I'm definitely going. Then I guess.
Might be pitching
But
around
does that mean Steven's gonna go get you?
Yeah.
This is going to be one long ride with a lot of coffee.
Yeah. That is true.
And I'm not a big coffee drinker.
So are you gonna pick him up, Steven?
Yeah, it's gonna be like 2 hours to his house, then 3.5 to Cecil County, Maryland.
Cecil County.
Wow. Well, you guys can share the driving.
No, we can't.
Oh, you can't?
His
Is that
insurance.
what Daddy said?
My insurance says you have to be 26. I'm only allowed to do it because I'm like blood relative.
Okay. I see.
Yeah, because I offered to, drive half of it and then he drive the other half, but his insurance would not like that very well.
Yeah.
If it were up to me, I would totally do it.
Yeah, but you were talking about also maybe possibly getting a hotel and then maybe being one of the first people to upload a video.
Oh, no. I would definitely like to do that.
You should do a live stream there, Jonathan.
I don't have service on my iPhone.
Oh, fuck.
And the only phone I have that I could use data is my track phone, and the camera is like worse than the first camera I started with on YouTube.
Does your track phone have a hotspot?
Oh, wait a second.
My phone does.
What were you? Oh, we can live stream from yours. Alrighty.
Yeah, well,
all right.
I was gonna say, does your track phone have any type of hotspot?
Damn. Track phone is a name I've not heard in so long.
Right? My mom still has one.
I forgot about track phone, man.
Hey, we have cricket here.
That's basically my phone for when I'm out of the house.
Yeah.
We were talking
No,
about
I forget. It's different areas of the country.
Yeah. Like me and Steve, that YouTube call out thing that's going on in Maryland with Street Speed 717 and Rob Ferretti and all them. You heard about that yet, Jesse?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, me and Steven might be attending that.
There's no way to be about it. I've already got the car. I've got the money.
Well, I don't have the $30 for gas yet.
Yeah, but hey, if you can't go, it doesn't mean I can't go.
Hey,
Absolutely.
What are you guys driving?
Me.
The Malibu.
Oh, okay.
It's
Oh, we
easier
sure
on
as hell
gas.
ain't taking the
good.
truck. Oh, God, no.
My
Yeah,
God,
I
you'd be
did
getting like 12 miles a gallon the whole way.
Oh no, it actually gets 17 on the back roads and 21 on the highway.
Does it really?
Wow.
Yeah,
You do
surprising.
better. You do better than my truck with the 351, and it does worse than that.
That's because it's a 351.
Jesus, I get like between like 12 and 16 miles a gallon with that thing.
All right, what
That
truck
is
do you have
about
with
what my neighbor's truck
351
is.
in it? Because I don't know.
It's a 95 F-150.
That's about what my
Nice.
neighbor's 92 gets.
Yeah, I get anywhere between like 12 and 16 with it.
He's got
So
nice.
3 more gallons
Yes,
on
then it sucks
full
if
tanks
we
than
had
I
to
have,
take
and I
the
get more
Beast.
2 gallon.
My buddy has one of those like
Yeah, he's
early
got-
90s F-150s, or I think it's an F-250 with the 351, but he converted it back to carbureted.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's the
really?
problem with
Yeah.
the Beast is from empty it takes $96 to fill up.
Oh, 'cause you know how much it takes to fill my truck up? It's only the single gas tank
Ooh,
because it's a single cab short bed.
I'm guessing
Yeah.
about $50.
It only costs like $35.
How?
It costs like $35 to fill it.
How small is your tank?
It's pretty
Where
small.
do you live?
Pennsylvania, Northeast
There,
PA.
that's why.
Yeah,
Yeah,
See,
we do
I'm in
have low gas
California where gas prices are ludicrous.
yeah. Well, it actually costs me more to fill my BRZ than it does to fill my truck.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Your
Yeah, we have-
really?
34 gallon tank on the truck.
the
and
BRZ
it's like-
usually the BRZ usually takes about $38-$39 to fill it. The truck usually takes about 35.
Yeah, the truck's
Wow.
usually between 50 and 90, and the car takes like between 20 and 40. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
I don't know if you can see it. This is the truck.
Uh-oh, my battery's
Nice.
dying.
Nice.
I like
That's
that
it.
Yeah,
body
mine-
style.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
it takes like $25 to fill up.
My landlord has one of those that's awesome. It used to have the 7.3 Ford diesel in it.
Was it
It's
the
the same body style as
was it
that
the
one. but
non-turbo or the turbo?
It was the turbo 7.3.
Okay.
Oh, good. That means it
But
made
no,
power.
but he took that out and he threw in one of the 12 valve Cummins turbo diesels and then kept the 5-speed in it.
Yeah.
And it's a 4-wheel drive too. It's a freaking beast.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
awesome.
The ZF5 that came in those trucks are amazing.
I'll have to show you my buddies. My buddy has a single cab short bed like I do, but he swapped a 5.9 Cummins in it.
Nice.
That thing is sweet. He's actually got it for sale.
Bummer.
The 9th Gen F-150.
He doesn't want to keep
Yeah.
it. What a bummer.
That's it right there. But it has a 5.9
Nice.
Cummins swap in it,
That's awesome.
and he would use it to.
Hey, Nick, is your truck a manual or an auto?
It's an auto. I wish it was a manual, but it's an auto, 4-speed.
Talk about having a
You're
reliable
preaching to the
Ford.
choir, man.
What's that?
You're preaching to the
Talk
choir.
Yeah.
Someone said think about having a reliable Ford.
Well, because he put a Cummins engine in it, so that means they're reliable.
All I'm saying is I don't even own a Ford. Well, it's actually not true. My wife drives a Ford. But no, the 7.3s were a very reliable good engine.
Oh, they were like bulletproof almost.
Yeah, those were great.
My friend
And
has a
by the way,
98
also the
F250
the
with
big
17
block
in it.
the big block gasoline Ford motors were good too.
That was the 460.
Yeah, those were awesome.
Yeah, it was like a 7.5 liter. It was huge.
Yeah, but they
Yeah.
got terrible gas mileage.
Well, so does my
Oh, yeah.
351.
Terrible gas mileage. But they
What?
ran
Do you
forever.
have the 351 Windsor or modified?
I have the Windsor.
Nah.
It also doesn't help that the rear end is a 355 and not a 308. So,
So,
I mean,
is it the Triton series with Windsor engines, or
I don't believe so. No.
Triton is newer.
Triton's the
was
5.4 and the
early
4.6.
2000s.
Yeah,
no?
my,
Because my uncle has Triton 4.6 in his 97.
well, yeah, that was the first year for them. That was the crossover year for when they changed from the boxy to like the rounded body styles.
Yeah.
Is that the one
You
that had
say
the suicide door?
4.7? Did you say 4.7?
No,
I thought it was
4.6.
Oh, okay, yeah, 4.6.
The 4.6 and the 5.4 were the Triton V8s, and then they were offered in a 4.2 V6.
Well, then they did also the Triton V10s. They did the Triton.
Yes.
It was a 6.8 liter V10 motor.
Mm-hmm.
That
Which they
once you
were
got the
hogs
cruiser
too.
speed, it would go to a V8. to
Yeah, those
save-
things suck with gas.
Yeah, they were hogs.
Oh, and they broke
Yeah.
down terrible.
Ask me how I know that.
Did you have one?
My parents still have one.
There you go.
I used to maintain. I used to work for a company maintaining a fleet of those, and most of them were those 6.8 V10s. And yeah, they don't get good gas mileage,
but they're strong.
They're strong, and I don't know. I mean,
very torquey.
this is when I worked. I worked for an ambulance company, and I was the fleet mechanic for them.
Okay.
And they were ambulances, and they were 1,200 to 13,000. So not 1,200, my bad. 12,000 to 13,000 pound vehicles with that V10 in it, and they were still getting like between 8 and 10 miles the gallon, which I know sounds terrible,
but for the weight,
it's pretty good for an ambulance.
Consider the fact that's a 12,000 pound vehicle, and it's like, hey, you get a truck with that weighs 5,000 to 6,000 pounds, and then you add a trailer onto it that weighs another 6,000 to 7,000 pounds. How much are you hauling? And you're still getting 8 to 10 miles a gallon. Exactly. No, you're right. It's not a diesel. For sure, it doesn't get as good of a diesel as a diesel, but for a gas motor, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
My dad was career firefighter for 14 years, volunteer, I think, almost as long. So I know exactly where you're coming from with the ambulances.
I doubt you do, my friend. Having to freaking deal with them and fix them last minute emergency all the time.
Every single time they came back from fleet, they were sending it back out.
Yeah,
every single time.
Yeah, I was the guy they went to. Imagine the amount of stress that entails.
That excursion, the engine and transmission has been good, and we haven't really had any issues. But when it comes to all the electrical stuff, piece of shit.
I do have electrical issues with mine.
So is the Ford electrical as bad as BMW, or
I wouldn't say it's that far, no.
It depends on the individual, like model. So like Excursion always had electrical problems when it happened to be with the stereo, the window regulators going out. You know how they have those big windows that are sideways like a minivan does?
Yeah.
On the van. So those open up with a regulator. You have these window switches that are on the top. And those regulators always go out. So if you happen to have it open and the regulator fucked up, guess what? And if it was raining, you couldn't do nothing about it.
Yeah, I mean that's how a regulator works with any car. But yeah, all I have to say is
notorious.
I'm an actual mechanic that works on stuff all the time and sees stuff come in all the time. Ford and Chevy to me have different issues, like there's things that are more common to fail on Chevys, and there's certain other things that are more common to fail on Fords.
Yeah.
But Chrysler or / Dodge, whatever, anything under that whole emblem, like, dude, that stuff electronically is always the worst. Which sucks, because I like a lot of their engines. A lot of their engines themselves are great. A lot of them, at least. Yeah. Not all of them. There's some really bad ones, too. But at least a lot of the V8s and the big engines are really good engines, but all the electronic stuff is so bad or so unreliable after a few years, it's just a nightmare.
Yeah, you know what I saw the other day that you're going to be surprised? And I was shocked to see it on the road. It was a Dodge Intrepid.
Yeah.
I'm not shocked.
Like a 2004 or 2005.
Oh,
Intrepid.
You want to hear something funny, Martin?
I'm not surprised by that at all. I see them around here all the time. It's like I said, like the engine works decently. And 2004 or 5, that's only like a 10, 11 years old. I see cars around here that are 30 years old all the time.
Oh, yeah, because
you guys want to know what's funny?
Car to last you forever.
Let me finish this. Let me just go for it. Just say it. I wanted to finish what I was saying.
The funny thing, though, the town cop, like, there's only one cop in this town, like, specifically for this town. And believe it or not, it's literally the police chief from the town of Frostburg. That's how bad this town is. And literally, it's an Intrepid.
The cop car.
What's funny about it? I mean, that's a good-looking car. I mean, from back in the day. I mean, when it was new,
it's not bad.
It was a nice looking. It was a nice little.
The
car.
Intrepid is the good-looking car.
For back in the day, I mean, it's outdated
Even
right
then.
now. No, it was a nice little car inside. Like, especially in the 2000s.
It's basically a longer Neon.
It's okay. Best I could possibly give it is a 4 or 5 out of 10.
I mean, that was
I
that was
couldn't
the
even
same.
do that.
That was the same car as the Chrysler 300M.
Yeah, also not that great looking. Like,
Well,
I don't know.
I'm just saying. I don't think it was a bad looking car back then. I mean, now it looks. I mean, now that you think about it, and you look. I mean,
No, I'll
just
give
saying-
you the
I'm just
fact that it's not ugly. I don't look at it and think that is an ugly car, but it literally just looks like the most. I don't want to say it's not. I don't want to say ugly because I just said it's not, because I don't think it is. But to me, it almost looks ugly because it's like just the most boring, bland, bleh car ever, ever.
Well,
Like
I mean, did you ever see the RT versions of that car? It was a nice little
the
car.
Intrepid.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be afraid of an RT version of Intrepid, that's for sure.
Well, I'm just saying that back in the day, back in 2002 and 2001, you know, when you saw those, you know, and it was new, it wasn't that bad of a looking car. Obviously, it's
Okay.
outdated. Of course, I mean, it's
didn't
old as
age
shit.
well.
No,
Exactly,
you're
yeah.
right,
There you go.
but there's
For its,
you're
for its
right, but
time,
there's
for
also a
its
lot of
time.
other cars from that period that look good.
I'm just saying, for its time, you know, and for the price point that they had it at, it wasn't bad.
Okay, Jesse, I got a question for you. And since you were talking about Dodges, what's your thoughts on an '84 Shelby Charger?
It's an 84, no matter what way you look at it.
Hmm?
It's an early to mid 80s car. Like almost all of them are shit.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah,
rather have the
'cause-
Dodge Daytona from that era than the Charger.
Pretty much.
Yeah, because my friend Stanley has
And-
one.
Look, like basically since 75 to 85, there was nothing good at all for anybody. Almost. There was very few exceptions, and to be honest, most of the exceptions in that era were trucks or off-road vehicles, because there's a lot of good off-road truck vehicles from then that had really, really strong, sturdy chassis and drivetrains. But as far as like car driving dynamics and horsepower are concerned, there is like nothing good from the
It's
mid
terrible.
70s to mid 80s.
Because
And it carries on for the Americans up until early 2000s, at least to mid 2000s.
yeah,
But in the I'll say late 80s, mid 90s, there was a lot of good Japanese cars and engines because they had figured out how to make a decently high displacement high horsepower per displacement engine. And that's why you had cars in the early 90s that were made by Honda putting out about 200 horsepower that weighed 2,700 pounds. And at the same time in the market was the Mustang GT making 225 horsepower, weighing in at 3,400 pounds. Like,
right.
and it took a while until, like I said, at least for Americans, it seems like till the mid 2000s until they kind of figured that out and stopped making crappy stuff. So like anything, like especially anything 75-ish to late 80s is just not great at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you think about it, during that period of time, there in America, they were putting down so many like emissions regulations on like vehicles. That's why you got.
And wasn't it like the oil crisis back then too? Also?
Yeah.
Gas crisis.
Yeah,
The gas crisis was in 76.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You had so many.
And the
emission
mission started in
regulations.
like 69. Come on. They just didn't get bad till like 73,
Yeah,
74.
I mean, early emissions things on cars, yeah, started applying about, like you said, 69. But then,
mid 70s.
yeah, they got worse in the 70s because they started trying to actually cut stuff out, but then they didn't know how to do it without cutting power. And that's the thing for me. I live in California where we're cursed with the stupid smog laws. So anything pre-75 is okay, but anything 1976 and after has to pass smog, which means for us, at least in California, pretty much anything that even has a big engine or could have potential from 1976 to mid 2000s, like, is just not a good platform and not a good idea to work on because of the simple fact that there was smog laws they hadn't figured out yet. And that doesn't count if you're talking about some sports car stuff from the mid to late 90s, but because there's certain things you can do to beef them up and tune them up.
Yeah,
But,
the one you can still get in the
but
past.
for so long there, everything was such garbage.
Mhm.
And there's nothing you can do about it. Like my friend, for example, this doesn't apply to everything, but my friend had a 76, which for us sucks. California. That was 1 year past when smog laws were put in, or were set for us to apply at least. And his car was a 76. It was a Jeep Grand Cherokee Chief, which is one of those real big body Jeeps from the 70s.
Like the Wagoneer almost.
But yeah, as a Wagoneer, I'm sorry, that's what it was. It was a Wagoneer Cherokee Chief. It was that. It was all those names at once back then. That's what they called it. It was the Wagoneer Cherokee Chief. And man, dude, like there was some weird crap on there that you needed to pass smog. But if for any reason any of those parts broke, were not working properly or whatever, there was just no way for you to get a working one because the cars weren't sold enough. There's no aftermarket, and there's nothing you can do. So here, at least, it's like the car's just dead. There's nothing you can do to try and make it work, make it past the stupid smog laws, or do anything. You're just screwed.
I live in a
You guys
good
want to
state.
see what Martin sent me? He sent me this.
Yes.
It literally looks like the combination of a Corvette and a Camaro. I am not kidding.
What, the new one that's coming out that's supposed to be mid-engined? Or something else?
No.
Just a rendering?
No, I don't know what the hell this is, but it's.
It looks like it has a Corvette badge on the back of it.
But it has
I like
the
it.
It looks almost like you can tell like with the hat or like where the hatch would be on a Corvette. That back part looks like Corvette.
I like
the
it.
side of it, like where the door is, looks Camaro.
But it has the Firebird on there on the back. You see that?
I'll be honest,
Yeah.
the back window, because it's rounded coming down, looks like the mid 90s to early 2000s Firebirds and whatever.
Yeah, I guess
Did you
I
see
live
how
in a good
it's-
state then, because
It's also a T-top.
I know Maryland is a one and done inspection, smog and everything. Virginia, you have to get it done every year. West Virginia, all they say is you have to have mufflers. They don't say it has to be anything in them. And they say that you have to have a catalytic converter. Again, doesn't say it has to have anything in it.
We have to do ours.
So
We have to do ours every year.
with the
Yeah, it's
truck,
same thing here in North
it
Carolina.
has honeycomb catalytic converters, which have already burned out because they were right off the manifolds. And it has Flowmaster Super 10s, which is a single chamber muffler, which I'm pretty sure are pretty close to rusting through.
Sure. No, I know, man. It's so much easier if you live in another state than California. I'm not gonna try and freaking blow people's spots, but there's ways to get around it if you really need to or want to, and it's a pain in the butt.
If I
So
lived
that's
in
what I've always
Virginia,
done,
there was no way
and
that
I've
would
always
pass
had to
smog
do.
right now. No way.
If Volkswagen can figure it out, I'm sure Californians could do the same.
Yeah.
The only way my
Yeah,
dad used to do
Volkswagen got
79
caught. What are you talking about?
My dad had a 79 Camaro back in the day.
Yeah, but look how long it took to get
on the
caught.
strip. And the only way he could get it to pass smog and everything was that he knew someone at the inspection station.
That's what we do. We just find someone who'll just lick and stick.
Yeah. So like, yep, you're good.
Yep, you're good. They don't even check anything. The guys I take mine to, they don't even check anything on it. They just put the sticker on.
Yeah.
The hard part in California is the fact that if it's an OBD1 car, then technically speaking, it's way easier to spoof the results, and you have to pass just a visual, which is up to whoever's inspecting it, what visually passes, and then they have to do a tailpipe test, which for me, all my cars have been that I've modified or choose to do stuff with were at least OBD1. But the problem is if you have an OBD2 car, they physically plug into it, and into the machine, and that gets your VIN number and everything else, and then that gets sent off to frickin' the DMV in California. And so if they want to try and spoof those results and do other things, it's a lot harder to do it.
Yeah, I mean the way they do ours in my state is they will do a visual check on if the car has a catalytic converter or not, and then they do something stupid, which is like a gas cap test to basically test if it's like leaking with the gas cap. But I mean, technically that's a stupid test anyway, because if it was leaking, wouldn't the car throw a check engine light?
Well, if it's an OBD2 car, then yes. Which is kind of why also in California, like I said, OBD1 car, you have to do the visual test. You have to pass the visual, and you have to pass the tailpipe. But if it's an OBD2 car, most of the time they don't even do a tailpipe test. They just plug into the car and see if any of the monitors are tripping. And if the monitor is tripping, then you fail. Which is like you just said, if your evap system's not working right, like the gas cap test or whatever, if
that's how they do
part
it.
of your evap system. If that's not working, then you just don't pass.
Yeah, exactly.
See,
That's
it's like
why I
here.
like older cars. They're simple.
But I mean, other than that, it's just a visual test. So like, if you see a catalytic converter, then okay, they don't. Have, it doesn't have to be functioning as long as there's one there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wish those were my laws, man.
Yep.
It's like here in North Carolina, it's like the people who I take my Jeep to get it inspected are like, does it have a catalytic converter? Does the check engine light come on? Okay.
Why am I looking at Skeletor hands?
Oh, the old guy I take my truck to get it inspected every year. It's like, let me see your lights, your horn work, wipers. Oh, see you got new brakes on there, and he only looks at one tire. He's like, I see you got new brakes on there. Here, let me write you a sticker.
Good job.
The guy's like 82. He only works in the mornings now, and he's like, well, I'll talk to you for 2 hours, but it's only going to take me 5 minutes to do your inspection. Okay. What do you want to talk about? And of course, if you really want to get him distracted, talk to him about Ford or the Cowboys.
Well, when did Martin leave?
Oh, I had to join in my iPad because my phone's dying. In fact,
Oh.
Oh, you missed that. I was just talking about one of your 2 favorite categories.
What'd you say?
The Cowboys.
Oh, the Cowboys. Yeah, I'm wearing that.
Yeah, I saw.
Well, I'm upset with the NFL. Let's not even talk about that subject.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like half of America almost is, except the liberals. But
Yeah.
We won't get into that.
Anyways.
yeah,
This
that's
is a
not.
card-
Jonathan,
card-
next
card-
topic.
we don't want
Whole
to
other subject.
This is a car podcast.
Jonathan,
Yeah,
next
we don't
subject,
want
please.
flag in our
Yes,
system.
please. Wait, what's Jacob saying? Because we can barely hear his ass.
Well, I was saying, like, okay, this is like a card talk. Let's not talk politics. Cause then
Exactly.
people flag us.
I
Yeah, I'd
agree with
rather
that.
not anyway. I'm not big into politics anyway. It's just like
Same.
meh.
Same. It drives.
Jesse, what are you doing?
Just sitting here. No, what's happening right now for me is my wife's in the office doing schoolwork, and I have too loud of a voice, apparently, so I can't be on my computer doing this while she's in there doing schoolwork. So
You're
I
getting,
gotta.
like-
so
Sounds
getting
like
yelled
you and
at,
I
is what you're
have a
saying.
similar life with our girls.
No, I didn't get yelled at, but she's like, I can't hear what I'm trying to do, this, that, whatever. So I'm just in here in the bedroom with the door shut and
Well, that's
chilling
why
out.
I avoided. I just come out to the car. I just avoid it altogether. I don't want to have that discussion.
I would
Usually it's not a problem, but apparently tonight she's got a big test and stuff, so I'm just going to let her do her thing and not worry about it.
You want to know something funny and hilarious?
Oh boy.
I would love to hear
You
something
remind
funny
me
and
of Troy
hilarious.
You look like Troy Sowers.
Oh, yeah, he kind of does.
Who's Troy Sauer?
He drives the McLaren.
The
know
McLaren.
He's a
No, I know, right?
Hold up.
Right now, my hair is super short, but usually my hair is like a bit longer, and people always tell me I look like Conan O'Brien or Blake Shelton sometimes. I don't know why. Whatever.
Well, Troy Sowers, he runs with Street Speed 717 and
Yes.
Guitar ZL1. He drives the white McLaren.
The McDonald's.
Yeah.
Hopefully, let's see. Before the battery dies on my phone, let's see if I can find him here, and I'll show you a picture of who he is.
Okay. Well, Lanchester in the comments says new cars need to be tested before they can be sold here.
Yeah.
Isn't that basically how
Exactly, he lives though.
Yeah, I mean,
Then he
that's
also
that's
said-
everywhere. New cars always have to be tested before they're sold. That doesn't matter pretty much any country, almost.
And then Lanchester also says ever since the VW, the VW thing, things have been a little bit stricter.
Also
That's what
depends on where you
Salamandra-
live.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
mean,
what
at least
Salamandra
I'm
was talking about.
talking about what? What did Salamandra say?
About the emissions.
Yeah, but
he
no,
was talking about
the Volkswagen scandal. How did
Yeah,
that affect like normal day people?
Well, no. He's talking about that's affecting other vehicles from coming into the market, like
Sure,
Mercedes.
no, that's
and
true for sure.
BMW.
Because
There's brand new cars that are sitting there at the
docks.
docks waiting to be shipped to the dealerships.
Yeah, like his
that are stuck.
Mercedes.
Well, that's just its own thing of the fact that Volkswagen got caught cheating, but everybody else already was. So yeah, kind of no shit. In that case, yeah, a lot of other cars, a lot of other manufacturers start realizing, oh, we can't put this out or that out, and it's starting making that harder. But as far as just personal people, you know,
that's
with
Troy,
whatever
by the way.
regulations, it
They
doesn't
kinda
affect
look
that.
similar, actually.
You guys look like brothers.
Who does?
Yeah, look, there's Troy in the picture.
Which
there's
one?
Troy. There's Jesse.
Okay, your phone's about to black out. There it is.
Who? Which one's Troy?
You guys look like brothers.
I don't see which one's showing Troy. Oh wait, who you?
Martin showing him.
He has the Autumn's polish stuff in his hand.
Now I see it.
You guys definitely look like brothers.
Yeah.
Whatever you say.
Or maybe
I know somebody was saying I looked like somebody, but I forget who the fuck they
or maybe
said it was.
cousins. I don't know, but that's hilarious. There's not very many pictures of Troy in his Instagram.
Well, I mean, he's a car person. How often do car people take pictures of themselves?
Yeah, honestly, my Instagram might have like 3 pictures of myself, and the rest is all my car.
Yeah,
I have like
and,
10 of
and
pictures
even
of-
still, I try and freaking manage the Gearheads Instagram, and I put stuff up once every week or two. Like I almost never am on Instagram. I just never have been.
And I'm always posting the pictures of the GTO, the Corvette, either the Infinity or food.
Yeah. Yeah.
Me and Jacob were talking about that earlier, how all you post half the time is food on your Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm like, God damn it, Martin, you end up making me hungry, you fucking prick.
And I'm talking like 5-star meals here. That's what it looks like.
Exactly, because he goes out to eat every night.
Well, we go out to eat once a night.
Once a night.
Holy
Every day,
shit.
basically, is what you're saying.
Jesus criminy. Like,
Well, you
for
gotta
me, it might be like once a month. If that.
For me, it's 3 times a week. So.
Yeah, it is what it is. What can I say?
It depends on the day
I
for
want
me.
to cut down on that a little bit.
Yeah, lately we've been going to Panera, which is really good there.
I've never been there
Panera's-
before yet, so.
Panera's pretty good.
Have you ever seen one, Jonathan?
Well, when me and Stanley took a road trip to PA, when was that? About a month?
We have a couple Panera
month
Breads
ago?
here.
Yeah.
And we were in Johnstown, and we decided to end up going to Five Guys because I'd never been to one of those before.
Right.
Oh,
So.
Best fries ever.
In fact,
And then Stanley was like, "Oh, like I have an entire vlog on the trip. If you guys haven't seen it, literally, he was like, "Oh yeah, the portions are gonna be big," and I didn't believe him. And then he pulls this fucking huge container out of the bag, and he's like, and I was like, "Holy shit!" And he's like, "That's not even all of it." And he opens the bag, and
a small fry is a cup of fries, and they put another scoopful on top.
Yeah.
well, that's the thing. I got the large one because I didn't think. I thought he was bullshitting.
Yeah,
I
it's
literally
like
brought back a bag full of fries, pretty much.
Yeah.
It was like I was like,
And of course,
holy
they have free
shit.
donuts there too.
Yeah.
Well, this weekend I saw what's his name, Josh from Josh's Car Corner. He drove through Albuquerque, and basically he's driving back to Arizona. He's moving there with his girlfriend, and man, the guy is freaking tall. But I took him to go eat at Freddy's because I guess you guys don't have any Freddy's in Maryland. Or no, Wisconsin. I meant to say because he was in Wisconsin.
What the hell's
We don't have Freddy's in California, so I've never heard of it either.
I've never heard of it.
Nope.
Okay, so Freddy's is just basically a steakhouse burger. In fact, have you guys ever watched Hoobie's Garage?
No.
No, none of you?
I've
Really?
heard of it, but I don't watch it. I don't
No.
watch that
You guys-
much, honestly.
You guys got to check it out. He's pretty funny. But anyway,
I'm starting to
pretty
get that
good.
way too, Jesse, because I'm so behind on videos and
Yeah.
stuff.
well, hell, I haven't seen the last. Hell, I haven't even seen anything that Street Speeds has put up in the past week. I think I've been too busy.
I haven't seen his from yesterday, even the day before that, and today, and I'm like,
I thought landscaping was slowing down for the season. It's busier than it ever was.
just make sure
Yeah.
you make sure your day's off on the 28th.
And this thing's freaking dying. You guys can't even see me anymore.
Mm-mm.
Nope. Hey, Martin, I think no, I'm not gonna make that joke. Never mind.
No. He just posted a new picture.
Who?
Speaking of Street Speed, Mike.
He's always posting
Let's see
stuff.
what the
And hey,
heck
the
he's
jizz is here.
Yeah, sorry, my freaking.
Oh yeah, see, that's what it is. He just
Freaking
posted a
circle.
picture of the C5.
Martin, your camera took a dump, so I mean, we
Are you
can't
talking about
see
Jimbo
nothing.
here?
Yeah,
No,
but it's not.
street speed
I thi-
apparently.
But I bet you that's Jimbo's. But it's not even a Z. It's just a regular C5.
This is the picture he's talking about since Martin's camera took a dump.
Oh, okay.
Nice. That looks cool.
That's
Nice.
pretty clean looking C5.
I
I'm
like
gonna
it.
assume that's Jimbo's new car, apparently.
That's what I'm thinking.
Wait, hold up. It looks like there's side damage on it.
No, it looked
Like
to
on
me
that
like
road.
they had side scoops on it.
Let me check it.
Like if you look like right here on the right back.
Oh
Hold
yeah.
on, I'm gonna
I
pull
see
it up
what you're
on
saying.
You
mine.
gotta zoom in way more.
The gap is not correct there by that little
can't
light.
tell.
By the
It
light
looks
marker.
like
I
there's
can't
scratches
tell
and
watching
stuff on it.
from my freaking phone screen to you showing your phone screen on a web cam, whatever. I can't see it.
I mean, it doesn't really look like there's damage on it, but the rear bumper does look like it's a different shade.
Right.
Hold on. I'll bring it up on the computer and screen share.
As if
That'll
it
probably
was,
work
like-
a little better.
Maybe
Yeah.
damaged slightly.
It looks like I don't know, because the paint doesn't look like it matches 100%, so it might have been in an accident.
I'm seeing like it looks like scratches on the side almost. Maybe that's a reflection. Maybe.
It might be, honestly.
I mean,
I'm waiting for the computer load.
Oh, are you talking about like from like underneath the gas cap all the way to the back of the car?
Yeah, he's talking about see the marker that's right there, the red marker.
Yeah.
Underneath, see how it's a little different.
No,
Like
I
the
don't
bumper's
see it because I don't see anything.
The bumper's not fitting correctly.
I'm just sitting here looking at all your faces.
well, I mean, here's
Hold on,
here's
I'll
the thing.
screen share it and show it here in a
Here's the
second.
thing. Here's the thing, guys. Even with
All right, look at my screen, guys. See?
Hold on.
That looks like reflections to me. That doesn't look like scratches.
No, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, now that I'm looking at it on the computer, yeah, that looks like a reflection now.
Yeah, it's
Here's
reflections.
here's the thing. Even if it was damaged, I mean, if it's Jimbo's car, he said if you follow his videos, he did mention like if he got a C5, he would eventually wrap it.
True.
Yeah.
Either way, wrapped or not, I'm just saying that doesn't look like damage. That
No,
looks
it
like
doesn't.
a normal
Yeah,
reflection.
even if it was, he was gonna wrap it anyways. He probably doesn't care.
Oh, look. Street Speed's apparently removing the wrap on, I guess.
Oh man, we're having an inception of videos.
Street Speed is removing the wrap off the Dirty Max already? Jesus.
Well, here it says, see? It says right there. Already removing the wrap. Here's why.
All right, JA, come on, bring it back to you. This is ridiculous.
I lost you guys there for a minute.
Every time you started talking, it just showed an endless mirror image of screen, like closer.
Are you saying that's his newest video?
Maybe.
That he said he's
Yeah,
gonna.
he just posted it.
Yeah, already removing the
Well, don't
wrap.
spoil
There's,
it. I haven't
there's a
seen it yet.
reason. Why would you remove a wrap that you put on like a week ago?
Because you're on YouTube and you want to just impress people and you'd have more money than you know what to do with. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you're retarded.
I mean, that was a pretty cool freaking
I don't know. He does like clickbait a lot of videos too. So I mean, like, you really never know.
Yeah, he's the clickbaiting king.
He is
Yeah,
like
he-
the mastermind behind clickbaiting. I swear. to
Yeah,
God.
and I don't know. I think I've only ever clickbaited like 3 of my videos, and I actually like there was a whole reason behind like Like whatever the clickbait was what happened in the video.
I mean, I clickbait.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
And that's the
but
thing
look
with
what that does
clickbait.
for
If
money.
it's the clickbait is honest, then there's nothing wrong with it, in my opinion.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But when it's dishonest clickbait, that just makes me angry and
Yeah.
makes me not want to watch your videos.
Clickbait,
Exactly.
in my activist
Where'd you go?
screen. Can you guys hear
Clickbait
me?
in my, and then he went silent.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Martini.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you.
Okay,
I'm
we hear you,
surprised
buddy.
he didn't tell me I'm number one again.
You are number one in my book.
Well, I can't see your picture, so I mean, I can't see if
Oh
you're
my!
giving me this.
Anyway, I mean, if you have a clickbait that is honest, like you were saying, that's fine. That's not real clickbait. It's just the
Yeah.
actual title, and it shows what's going to
Yeah.
happen. But when you're being dishonest and you have clickbait and saying that you're gonna take back your car to the dealership, but it turns out that you're doing the first oil change, that's clickbait because you're not taking it back. You're just
Yeah.
getting an
No,
oil
sure.
change.
This is BS.
Yeah, exactly. You're just getting
I mean,
your
yeah.
break-in oil change. That's all it is.
Yeah, I mean the clickbaitiest videos that we've done were we did a top 5 free Miata mods video, which was legitimately the top 5 free Miata mods, and then we also had a link showing to how to do all of those top 5 free mods. So
Mhm.
not only was it like, just saying what they were, it was also showing the fact like, here, this is also how you do it if you
Yeah.
want to do it.
So it was very
And we did
informative
the same
as well.
thing for top 10 cheapest Miata mods, which were half of the list was under $100 and the other half of the list was under $200 each for each mod, whatever. And like, yeah, how to video for all of them. So it's like that's I don't like to be honest. It's
There's your
clickbait in the
clickbait.
fact that there you go. No, to be honest,
so
like
he's
it's
taking the wrap off the
it's
C4.
clickbaity in the simple fact
Yes.
that people are more likely
Hey,
to
Mike,
click
I
it because they
completely
want to
forgot about that. I
Huh?
thought he meant the Duramax because I completely forgot that the C4 was wrapped. That
Well,
completely.
Well,
he
don't
also
spoil it for me yet. I haven't seen the.
I know, he also did use the
Too
Duramax
late.
as the thumbnail, so there's your clickbait right there.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
see. I didn't
exactly.
see the Duramax as the thumbnail. I didn't
Yeah,
see
the
the thumbnail
Duramax
when
was
it
the
popped up on the
thumbnail, so
computer.
that's why it's clickbait.
That's why I'm
Oh,
saying,
then
hey,
yeah,
Mike,
it is
fuck you.
clickbait then.
Yeah, exactly. He's being dishonest.
That's how he gets the views. That's how, if you're gonna be honest, that's how he gets the views.
No, like I said, that's why it's dishonest. It's like the
No, you're
ones
right.
we did were very relevant. It
Yeah.
was like, yeah, fine, because people are more likely to click a top 5 or top 10 list video.
Yeah.
So that worked, to be honest. Like those videos have
Like,
the most.
I think
views
if
on the
Mike
channel.
really wanted to make it like not clickbaity, but not misleading either, was take a picture with the Duramax and the C4, so you won't know which one's getting unwrapped until you click
Right.
the video.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been a little bit more better clickbait.
I don't know, but like all the clickbait that I've done has always been like honest and like has a point into the
But it's
video.
relatable to
Like,
what's going
yeah.
on. And it's not like Rob Ferretti says where you talk about it for like 2 seconds. Okay, realistically, 30 seconds. And then the rest of the fucking video might be 10 minutes or 20 minutes. And it has nothing to do with your, like you said, your thumbnail.
Exactly.
Yeah, but like another thing is like with that, like if you're doing a vlog, obviously obviously there's gonna be shit in there that has nothing to do with the title.
Right.
But it's obviously, it's like you got to put all the parts for the vlog in there. You can't just make it a separate video and then what are you gonna call the vlog then?
It's like this
You know what I
one
mean?
here. You can call it "Somebody Got Jizzed."
Oh my God, Martini.
He's gonna.
Hey,
he's
it
gonna.
makes sense. Because his channel is what was it again? Something Jizzy or
Chiz.
the Chiz.
Hey Jacob, apparently your channel is Jizzy now.
Yeah, the Jizz or Chizzy or Jizzy. Yeah,
Oh my God.
Chiz. The Chiz has been jizzed. Or in rap music, it's Jizzy.
Well, you know what's funny is Jacob's wearing all white.
Oh
See,
God.
there you go. He's
I'm
being
actually not
jizzed.
wearing white. I'm wearing tan. It just looks white because of the light. Hey, that
Yeah,
rhymed.
there you go.
Okay,
Does
why
it look like that
is
because
my
you've been jizzed?
camera suddenly so freaking zoomed in?
I don't know.
I have
That's
no
what I'd like to
idea.
know. I don't know what happened.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna end the podcast here. I mean, if you guys still want to talk afterwards,
Yeah,
we
I
can. It's up
gotta
to you.
get off here because I got a 8
Yeah.
a.m. class tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah, it is. Well, it's almost 1 where I'm at. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's about 1 a.m. here.
yeah.
All right. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed the podcast, however long it was.
Like 2 hours, 2.5
Probably.
hours, 3 hours.
It's closer to 3. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Like that's what happens when you get people that can talk for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They end up being long.
It's because
All right,
somebody
well, I
got
hope everybody
jizzed.
enjoyed.
Second podcast I've been with you, and already I love it.
Well, we'll have to have you on again then, Steven.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed. Definitely check everybody's channels out. They will be linked down below. And sure to like the video. Check out some of my other videos. Definitely check out the Cobra one. That's a good one. Probably my best video to date, probably.
Well, it was nice to meet all of you, and I hope you have a good evening.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
absolutely.
you too.
Nice to
If
meet
you
you.
guys want to learn about the car that Salamandrin's getting, stay on the chat. Did you stop recording already?